quick changes right away. You'll see it's like a mirror image, so people can read shit better. What is up, everybody? MuseMe TV. We are back. Episode 144. Thank you, everybody. Today in the studio, we have my friend Ryan Cordova. I actually it's a little bit too much. What is up? I know. Oh man, Ryan Cordova, everybody.
You gotta come in with a bang, dude.
Everybody knows what's up, man. What is up, Ryan?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me, buddy.
Dude, no problem. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, absolutely. Crack over. You gotta crack open the beer there.
You know it, buddy. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers, absolutely.
Thank you. 7K IPA. Let's see how this boy goes down.
This is my current favorite.
So this is what you've been rocking, or what?
That's what I've been rocking, yeah.
Interesting.
Switch between that and Lagunitas, but this one seems to be kind of taking precedent.
It's not bad.
Yeah,
I've
been stocking my mini fridge with it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I've never had like a beer, you know, like something
just
that
jump.
Yeah, I've never been able to stick with one thing.
I'm a creature of habit for sure.
Really?
So like if something does well for me, I'm gonna be like,
I'm keeping this.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, but you always have that like reserve kind of like, is this kind of new or is this?
No, man, I've been drinking it for a little bit. Yeah, no, it's been around for a while.
Dope.
Yeah, it's good stuff though.
I like how we say it, like, yeah, I've been drinking for a little bit, like if we are like alcoholics or something already.
We're not.
Yeah, I know, right? I just reached 21, guys. Everyone thinks I look so young.
You do, man.
Dude, you look way older than I do.
Yeah,
I'm jealous.
Yeah, it's the facial hair.
It's so ridiculous. But yeah, 21, big guys. Hell yeah.
27.
So,
just turned 27.
You just turned 27?
I just turned 27.
Nice.
Yeah.
When was it?
August 2nd.
Happy birthday.
You're just unlocked, dude. I gotta tell you, like, just the whole setup here is just so cool. I have to hand it to you. Like,
yeah.
It's just really, I dig it. It's like you have this shit unlocked. You got the PlayStation going. It's just really cool.
Yeah, especially everybody freaks out too. They're like, how are you even doing this on your PlayStation and stuff? It's just, there's a game known as the Playroom. It has this feature where you can do kind of AR studio. Yeah. You could even do some cool stuff with like the background of the like what we're doing. Like say if you're playing around with your friends and all, and you're just like, hey, let's make it look like it's an old time movie.
Yeah.
And you just start just fucking around, and you can just. So this is a game so cool. On the PlayStation. Yeah. If you turn off all the settings and get everything turned off, you literally can do a live stream of just what you see on screen.
That's really cool.
That's it. So and then I was like. I found out that the PlayStation recognizes PAs, but if they're USB powered, certain ones though, because I used to actually have the Scarlet 2i. That's what it's called, right?
Yeah. I actually used to have one of those.
Yeah, that has 2 ports, and they have another one that has 4 ports and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I had the one that had 2 ports, and I would always use it on my computer. I tried to hook it up to the PlayStation. It does not recognize it.
Yeah.
At all. But I get this bad boy. This is a Behringer Exxon whatever,
hands, man.
and it right away just recognizes it as a USB, like just a USB microphone.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect. And I'd like to point out, it's so funny. Like when I first came in here and I was telling you about this stuff, I was like, "Tell me about your rig. Like what's it?" And he's just like, "Save it for the podcast."
Yeah, everything.
I'm actually brand new to this. This is the first time I've ever done
a podcast.
Oh,
nice. Yeah. But okay, so this is the thing though. You've had to at least done some like. Come on, radio shows.
Yeah.
Because I mean, let me just give you guys a little rundown of who this guy is. I know you from being kind of a local legend from the northern New Mexico scene.
Hardly.
Oh man, everyone knows about you guys.
More so my pops.
Yeah. But knowing about Cordova, Ryan Cordova and Darren Cordova, you guys, I've seen you play shows with hundreds of people in the audience. Like I'm just like, what the heck, man?
My dad, he's been doing. God, I think he's been doing music for 30 years or something like that. So hopefully you build a following if you're going to be doing it that long. And he put out his first solo album, I think in '93, like the year I was born, and he had a song called Cantinero on it, and it's become kind of like this sort of what's the word, revered. It's a like very popular song within New Mexico music, And then the following year, he put out a duo with El Hurricane, and I'm sure you know who El Hurricane is. Right?
Legend.
Legend, of course.
One of these.
Rest in peace.
I'm pretty sure no, because sometimes I've had people in the chat that are like, "Hey, what's up from Germany?" They have no idea who the fuck Al Hurricane
is.
is.
Know who that is. Yeah.
Go look up who Al Hurricane is, guys.
Yeah, he's a legend. Rest in peace. But they did a duo called Mi Amigo, Dos o Tres Tequilas, and you know, those songs did well for him, and he's been putting albums out for 30 years, and he has a following, and
dope.
Yeah, and I've been super lucky, you know, playing his band now. We haven't played a show in a year with all this stuff, though.
With the COVID and stuff.
Yeah, man. It's so the last show we played was in Pueblo, Colorado for New Mex Fest, and that was the last show. It was like in October, November. So we're rolling up pretty quick on the year mark that I haven't played a show with my dad
at all.
Sucks.
But yeah. Being a musician and stuff, I'm always sure you're always practicing, keeping your stuff in line and stuff like that.
Well, been lucky. So I actually play with several groups. I play with I play trumpet with my brother's mariachi, but I also play bajo quinto in my good friend Carlos Medina's trio.
Okay.
And we've been kind of consistently playing gigs with the trio, so which has been kind of cool. So like, you know, play multiple instruments and you keep yourself busy at some level. You know, if one gig drops off, well, others are there. So
that's dope.
Yeah,
that's always good to know, especially playing different instruments and stuff. Like I kind of can like dabble with like the drums. I keep a pretty good beat, and I obviously know how to do the fucking blast beats and like some double bass shit.
If you're gonna be a metalhead playing drums or only playing it a little bit, you gotta know your blast beats.
Yeah, but there's like
I still can't do that.
Really?
Oh no.
Oh man,
I am a weird case, man. I'm not very technically proficient, which sounds weird because I play for my dad's band. But
you play your band that I know you from, A Resolve, correct?
Yeah.
That's actually kind of like proggy, little
bit, yeah.
Degenty. It has like a lot of mixture of like off timing stuff, weird chord signatures.
So I sent you a song. I think was it this last week? So we have a new album coming out.
This isn't it? Is this it?
No. That's actually our first album, and it's interesting. So like this next one we're putting out really kind of pushed the bar. I was joking with him. It's like, I don't know where you're going to play that on, but, you know. I
know, right? Well, I'll just be like, check it out, guys. Yeah. Links on Spotify. Because it's on Spotify, right?
It is.
Spotify.
Our first album's on Spotify, you know, Apple Music, all that stuff.
Everywhere you can find music, right?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I put in the description, too. I was like, make sure to go look up A Resolve anywhere you guys find your music, so you guys know what's up.
Yeah, that's our first album. We put that out in 2015.
Nice. Nice. You've been working hard doing some stuff.
Yeah. Well, actually, it took us... So that's our first album. You know, we didn't put anything out in the interim from 2015 to now.
No, okay.
I feel kind of like a slacker, man. You know, I've been working on this one for 4 years, I think.
Jeez.
Yeah, off and on. Just life kind of, you know, gets you distracted at some level.
But you were kind of like in and out of it, stuff like, you know, working on some stuff, maybe tweaking some stuff.
I'd say by the time we put this out, I was already like, ideas were snowballing for the next one.
Okay.
And I started demoing it out probably like late 2016, I think.
Dope.
And just off and on, because I don't do music for a living. I work as kind of a semi-professional musician, but I still have a job, right?
Yeah.
So,
that's the worst part, right?
It sucks, man.
It's like you want to be a musician that gets paid for your art.
And I do, but not for this art. You know, we've gotten paid maybe once or twice or something like that. With passion projects like this, it's like, well, you know, you're not doing it for the money. Anyway.
Yeah.
It'd be dumb to be trying to make a living off of metal or rock. Or
but your other music and stuff like the mariachi and the New Mexico music and stuff, you've obviously made some dope ass. I mean, dude, a casino gig? Oh my God, those are dope.
Yeah, man, we've been super lucky, man. You know, there've been a lot of times where we get the chance to play for like a couple thousand people.
Yeah, that's so dope.
But I mean, I owe it to my dad. You know, like I wouldn't have those opportunities if you know, I wouldn't even be in music if it wasn't for my dad. You know?
Interesting.
Yeah. You know, grew up around it, and there was just kind of no way that you weren't going to get in it. So. And
that's weird too, because obviously your dad and stuff, I mean, he probably does appreciate and respect the music you make.
He mixed this first one.
Yeah, see? He's probably like, yeah, this is dope. But you're thinking like
I can't understand what you're saying.
From that background and stuff, right? It has that kind of like he probably played a lot of like New Mexico music. Maybe he was into like old classic rock.
He liked AC/DC for
Yeah,
sure,
stuff
man.
like that. Yeah.
Scorpions, Loverboy, all that shit.
Yeah, so that influence kind of bled into what you are into now, right?
Yeah. Well, you know, it's funny. Like, so I grew up listening to a lot of Spanish music, obviously, you know.
Cheers. Thank you for the 9 viewers. You guys are awesome. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Yeah.
We got a bunch of
You guys
trolls
are
in here
awesome.
right now, but it's cool. That's what we're here for, guys.
Hey, it's a viewer, right?
Yeah.
I totally lost my train of thought. What was I saying?
Talking about your dad's music taste.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So I grew up, all my family, all of my siblings, we grew up listening to like Spanish music, like Los Temerarios, Los Bukis, artists like Marco Antonio Solis, a lot of mariachi music. And I think in 8th grade is when I started to like rebel a little bit and start to listen to other. It was wrestling. You were into wrestling, I'm sure. Every boy was into like WWE and stuff.
Dang, like those are the good old days.
Hell yeah.
Now it's just like a damn soap opera.
I know, yeah. I don't really watch it that much nowadays.
No.
Sometimes I'll visit just to see old friends, so to speak. But you know, I would blame it on like the you know wrestlers have like their entrances and they have like the badass pyro with the rock music and stuff like that. That kind of got me into like the rock music that I listen to, and then you just kind of travel down the rabbit hole. Like you listen to this band, then you find out who influenced them, and you know what I mean. Like and then it's
so
just
true.
It's just a total spiral down the rabbit hole. But I'm glad that happened though. I still absolutely appreciate like the music that
the old school.
Yeah, absolutely.
Every once in a while.
Music. Dude, on my way here, I was listening to Intocable. You know, they're a norteño band. You know, from Texas. So I still absolutely listen to all that stuff. But I love some good heavy ass metal. Actually, I meant to ask you, the intro to your podcast, the music that we were listening to, who was that?
That's some stuff that I wrote with
really?
my band.
I figured.
Yeah, that's caused us to become stuff.
Dude, yeah. I thought that it was awesome. I remember seeing like some video of you guys like performing live. I was like, you guys are really tight.
Yeah, we did some good stuff, man. We were fucking getting going. We had some cool stuff going on.
You guys played at the jam spot a couple times, right?
Yeah, we played at the jam spot. We actually got a gig at the.
That was our first show. Was that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That part was dope. We ended up opening for a band called Diamond Lane, and they were a big deal in Los Angeles and stuff. But when they came here, you know how the touring band scene works, right? It's so weird. But yeah, they were the headliners. We got to open up for them, and they're cool. They've opened up for like people like Motley Crue and like really good like glam metal bands and shit like that. And so when they came here, they were so intrigued that we were playing, because we ended up playing 2 of our original songs and like 3 covers, and they love the covers. They're just like, oh, you guys did good. I mean, that's tight. You guys had everything all nice and put together. I was like, thanks, man. That's a compliment coming from a touring band.
For sure, yeah.
And that's always good to know too, is like finding these little niches in the music community is like, hey man, thank you for liking my stuff. Take my CD, or here, take this, and you'll never know where the fuck it ends up.
Yeah, I think I've given out like CDs and stuff
like this. You never know where it's gonna be.
Well, I know that you'll appreciate it for sure, man. Because I don't know, like, I think in the very least, like when you're playing in a scene like this, like there's a lot of mutual, like, Jaden, for example, was on your show.
Yeah.
And his band is awesome, and in the very least, like if you put stuff out in the local community with a lot of musicians that are doing good shit, right? It's gonna find appreciation there. And to me, that means the world. Like if you put out music and you have like another musician saying that they like it, it's humbling and it's awesome.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you put out art that people appreciate, and it's awesome. That's all I need.
Or especially when you play songs that people start to recognize. You're just like, hey, play that song that you have that really cool tremolo picking part. I'm like, that's awesome. Yeah, that's cool. I'm glad you recognized something that I kind of worked hard on and stuff.
And so far, like, the songs that we've put out thus far, I've only put out 2, but the reaction to them has been kind of nice. People are digging it, and it's like, holy shit, this is badass. And it's always cool to hear that kind of stuff, especially on stuff like this, because you know how it goes. I mean, you've recorded before, and it's not easy to put together songs and record songs and stuff like that, so. You're
your own worst critic when it comes to that stuff.
Oh, straight up.
Yeah,
straight up. And what's funny is, like, if recording this last album, I think it's embarrassing to say, but there was one solo that I did that I think I took like 120 takes of it, just because I just wasn't there. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't satisfied with it. So sometimes it takes a little while, but yeah, everybody's like their own worst critic.
Yeah, that's so crazy to think about too. But then you kind of learn different recording techniques and stuff. I remember when I first started recording my music, I was like, I got to record my whole song in one take.
Oh yeah.
And then do the whole thing, and if I mess up, then I got to try again.
Yeah.
But you find little niches.
Well, I meant to ask you about that, because you mentioned that you don't really have like a software that you use or anything like that.
When I first started using recording, I only use Audacity.
Wow.
It's like that basic kind of that kind of shit. I used that a lot, and then I ended up discovering like this program called Cake. I think it was Cakewalk.
Hey, that's BandLab now.
Yeah, that's BandLab. Mm-hmm. Okay,
it's a free software, I think. Yeah.
When I first used Cake, it wasn't free, so those bastards.
So yeah, Gibson screwed that all up. I think they owned it for a little bit. It used to be called, so it's been called Cool Edit Pro, I think, Cakewalk, Sonar. Now it's called BandLab.
I remember Sonar.
Yeah. So that's what we used on this. That's actually what my dad uses to do all his projects too. But BandLab's free. And it's actually really good. I mean, some people even say it's better than Pro Tools.
Oh, wow.
I'm not in the weeds too much on that shit because I'm not very good at doing studio stuff.
But you've seen it in action, and you kind of can see
I know my way around it, yeah, for sure. So if you were like looking to get into recording, I'd say BandLab is definitely worth checking out. That's dope. That's always good to know, too, because there's always been the niche of people, like, what do you record with, and what, like, when you record, your stuff, do you kind of like come out of cabinets with mics in them, or do you kind of like just do a modulator kind of thing? No, what's funny is, and I'm sure you're a gearhead. I mean, any musician is. You've heard of the Axe-Fx, right?
Yeah.
I had one of those before.
Okay.
And I just didn't sound as good as good old-fashioned miking up a cab. I recorded my first album with a mic on a cab. Tried the Axe-Fx on this next one, and it just, the sound was, I don't know. Bands like Periphery and Meshuggah make that shit work, but I couldn't.
Okay.
Yeah, so when I record, I mic up a 412 for sure.
A 412.
Yeah. And double track, like, all the riffs and shit.
Okay, so you'll just play them over each other and stuff. Mm-hmm. See, these are kind of like stuff that I still would like to learn in an instant, because I mean, I'm very fucking generic and basic when it comes to my music playing. Like, people still make fun of me because I still have like a lot of Line 6 products.
Line 6 is cool, man. They make some good shit.
I hate you. No, I like them though, because my first really big purchase of equipment was the Line 6 Spider 3 combo 150.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but that just has such amazing sound to everything I've ever played.
Yeah.
I keep buying, like, I've tried so many different other amps. I think I even tried like a Marshall fucking MK something.
Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix. But don't fix it.
It's so weird to think that, like,
that you prefer a Line 6, because most gearheads would be like,
that's generic.
Bite your head off.
That's generic. That's generic.
Yeah. It's like, what are you, 12? But hey, it fucking works. You know what I mean?
Because I know one thing that's actually a really good Line 6 products is the Helix, right? Mm-hmm. The Helix.
I've never tried one of those, but I've kind of wanted to.
Yeah, they say it's amazing. It's like this huge pedal board that just has everything. I think the guitarist
from this band called 12 Foot Ninja that just uses only those.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That'd
doesn't
be
use
dope.
amps, doesn't use mics. He just front of house one of those, and that's it. Yeah.
That makes sense. I think that has some good sound to it.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. Me personally, I definitely prefer like loud.
You want to hear it.
Yeah. And I don't know, that just, I felt like the saturation, like, or the rhythm tones that you pull out of an Axe-Fx, like, they're just really stiff and stale. I don't know. It doesn't have like the nuance that a regular just 412. I run a 6505 into a 412, into a Black Star 412.
Okay.
And that's what's on the new album. I don't know if you checked out the songs that I sent you, but that's how that was recorded.
That's how that sounds, just straight from there to the recording software.
Yeah.
No like tweaks in the band labs or anything like that.
Well, I mean, there's some EQ, and I have to hand it.
That's all right.
Is that your phone?
Yeah. Yo, what is up, man? You are live right now on the podcast of MuseMe TV. What is up, man? Remember, you are live. Remember, you are live.
Oh shit! I'm famous.
We got Ryan in the studio. We're just here hanging out, having a brewski, just hanging out.
Oh shit, for sure, brosko. Well, shit, then I got you. I'll hit you up after the podcast, though, brosko.
All right, man. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for calling in. We love you.
Love you too, broski. Yeah.
We love you.
Bye, man.
Buddy ears.
Yeah. And I always fucking like, I kind of like tell people just like go check the YouTube if I don't answer anything.
That's what I'm doing.
But I'm gonna answer, and you're gonna be on the podcast. So I have to say it at least 3 times. Be like, you're on the podcast. Don't say something stupid. Remember, once
Anything
again,
can happen.
you're on the podcast.
Yeah.
Oh man, because there'll be some ridiculousness.
I know. Yeah. It's live. We're live, baby.
Exactly. Thank you. We got
Live.
11 viewers on. You guys are awesome. We're here hanging out again. Ugly FUK, FUQ. He's we got you be trolling, aren't you, man? And
Is that what someone who's looking at it?
dumb fuck singing. Him as well. He's there. There's a few people in the chat that are just being ridiculous.
Being trollers.
But I love you guys. Thank
It's
you guys.
the internet, yeah.
Thank you guys for watching. You guys are here hanging out with us.
Listening to us spew all our bullshit.
You know what's crazy is glam metal. That's one of my favorite.
Ask you,
that's my favorite genre.
Is it really?
My favorite.
Wow.
You know why?
Yeah.
Is because in the 80s those guys redefined the guitar
That's fair.
in a way that is like everybody tries to mimic now.
They made guitar sexy.
Dude, in a way that you can't even imagine. When you hear an amazing arpeggio, you are just like, you just dumbfounded.
Yeah,
You're just so intrigued.
I don't know. I've never been a huge fan of like glam metal. And it's funny. Like whenever I have this conversation with a fellow like metalhead or a rocker, like they're
Hacksaw, thank you for joining. He says first time watcher. You're awesome. Gotta give him a shout out.
Yeah.
Go for it.
No, I've never been into glam metal
At all. Well, you like the classics, right?
Scorpions and shit like that. Yeah.
But those so
is Scorpions glam metal?
I wouldn't consider them glam
Okay, yeah,
metal.
no, it's not.
If we're gonna go glam metal, we're going straight for people
Poison.
that played and actually dressed like women.
Yeah.
So like Poison, Motley Crue. Motley Crue has some
Bon
great
Jovi?
songs. Bon Jovi. We'll go with Bon Jovi. Dawkins.
Mm-hmm.
George Lynch is an amazing fucking guitarist, man.
That's the thing is like they might have dressed like weirdos, but you can't deny some of the talent. That
And
they-
okay, so going a little bit more into this too is like I remember back in the day, I saw a documentary called Heavy Metal, Headbanger's Journey, something like that. But they were talking about glam metal and like the psychology around it and stuff.
Yeah.
They were like, it's like so gay and it's like so fruity. People that dress up like that, right? But a psychologist was talking about it, and he's like, how at this day and age are you supposed to be more manlier than your dad?
Yeah.
Because if your dad is the most manliest guy you know, and he dresses up in his suit, he's a hard worker.
Stilettos.
Yeah. How do you beat that? You're like, I'm gonna outdo you.
I'm gonna go the opposite way.
and get more women than you.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so crazy.
That is kind of weird. That's true, actually. It's kind of weird. Like,
how they did that.
yeah, 'cause they're dressed up in makeup and spandex and shit, and they're
half of those had way more sex than I've
banging
ever
10
had.
chicks a night.
Yeah, dude,
Every show, yeah.
exactly. One night I've had way more than that.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I it's not even for the fact that like it looked weird. I'm not even a big fan of like the sound.
Oh my! I hate you. What are you talking about?
No, like honestly, I kind of identify with a lot of the bands that you have on your wall for sure.
Okay.
But I don't know. The glam metal just never got me, man. I never caught the bug, dude.
It never-
Poison, your Poisons of the world, and
The Dawkins,
Dawkins actually has some pretty fun riffs to listen to.
Okay.
Sometimes, yeah.
Like obviously the whole Freddy Krueger shit.
Yeah.
They were like featured in the Freddy Krueger movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Dream Night
So
Warrior.
I'm a
and
big
shit
horror
like
fan, so I was watching a documentary the other night, and they mentioned that.
Yeah,
Dawkins in it. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's cool to think about that they kind of do that stuff, but it's good to know that there's people that hate glam metal out there.
Guilty.
No, but
I don't hate it. I guess it's just not. It's not normally my cup of tea. I don't know. I'm a weirdo, man. Like if you hear some of our music, you can, and people have told me this before, but you can hear the influence. And I'm more into bands like with kind of substance, I guess. Like I feel like Tool, like bands like Tool. I don't know. Are you into Tool?
yeah, Tool's badass.
Yeah, bands like Tool.
Any project that Maynard does is amazing. Anything he touches is gold.
They're about to put out a new album with Pussifer.
Nice.
You've heard of Pussifer?
Yeah,
they're about to put
Pussifer's
that
dope.
out. I actually got to see Tool in October of last year.
Nice.
Yeah.
Where at?
Not
here, obviously.
Yeah, they never fucking come here.
Not here at all.
The last time I saw Tool here was in 2012 at Tingley Center. But
2012. Yeah, my friend Evan talks about that one too. That's dope.
Was he there?
Yeah.
It's so weird. Like when you run into people 10 years later, it's like I was at that show. It's kind of like this weird connection. Things like so was I.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, but that show was amazing. at Pepsi Center.
Okay.
So, you know, they're not known for putting albums out super frequently. So I was like, I'm gonna travel to Denver and go see them, like see them live, because I don't know if I get the chance to do it again. But yeah, bands like Tool, definitely. Breaking Benjamin's a big one for me too. I don't know. Do you like them?
They were like part of what would you categorize them?
They're alternative metal, I think.
Alternative metal?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's like the band that made me like I want to start a band, or I want to start writing songs.
Breaking Benjamin?
Yeah.
Nice.
Straight up.
That's cool.
Yeah. Bands like that.
What's another band? I'm trying to think of that era that kind of came out. Not
Seether.
Seether's
part of that.
Machine Head?
Machine Head?
No, not Machine Head. What the fuck is that band? Bush. No.
Oh yeah.
Kind of like
Bush.
that.
They were actually supposed to tour here in Albuquerque before all this shit happened with COVID.
Damn.
Yeah.
There you go. See.
Yeah.
But that is the influence of what started your music.
Yeah, for sure. Breaking Benjamin. That's the rabbit hole I'm telling you about. It's funny actually. So I actually I bought a Breaking Benjamin album by mistake when I was camping one year. And it was because of the wrestling stuff. Right? You remember Rob Van Dam?
Yeah.
Yeah. He came out to a song. Yeah. Yeah. RV.
One of a Kind.
Fucking A, man.
Is that the song you're talking about?
Yeah.
Who's the band?
Breaking Point.
Breaking Point?
Yeah. And right before a camping trip, I wanted to buy like a CD.
Is it Breaking Point? I thought it was another band.
I want to say it's called Breaking Point. You got to Google that shit now. You got to find out.
Because I listened to that song because I love the stupid Forcible Entry soundtrack.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that shit's classic, man.
Yeah, so that it has RVD's like song.
Well,
on there.
his theme song has changed, I think, a couple times. But
Really?
at one point, it was One of a Kind. I want to say the band was called Breaking Point, or some shit like that. But so I bought a Breaking Benjamin album thinking that it was Breaking Point because those are the guys that do that song that RVD comes out to. I want to get something by them. And it's so funny. Like the first time I heard that album, it was Phobia, and I hated it. Like I didn't even like it. But by the end of the weekend camping trip, I knew all the words to every song.
Oh shit!
It was a weird
got ingrained in your head.
Yeah, it's like I don't like this. This isn't what I signed up for. And then it just kind of took me by the throat.
Why the fuck? I'm just saying Rob Van Dam's song.
Trust me. Type in One of a Kind. It'll pop up Breaking Point for sure.
You're right.
Is it right? Yeah.
Yeah, Breaking Point.
Dude, I'm known for this. My buddies give me shit all the time because sometimes I know those details. It's like I know what year a movie came out, and they always give me shit. It's like, oh yeah, did it come out in 2018 or like a little encyclopedia over here?
Interesting. Yeah, because again, fucking Rob Van Dam was a shit. That's the good era of wrestling.
EC Dub, man.
I remember that so much. Like fucking the whole invasion thing. They're like, hey, we're coming here from WCW, and
dude, yeah.
That was.
I missed that era because I got into it like probably when I was like in 8th grade or something like that.
Okay.
Or 6th, 7th, 8th grade or something like that. But yeah, wrestling. I think every 13-year-old boy goes through that phase. It's like I love to watch WWE, and yeah, that was a big part of the music thing for me though. That's what got me into rock music for sure. They cut the best promos, don't you think?
Yeah.
Like the pay-per-views and the promos like before each match, like that's what really got me started on a lot of this stuff.
That's dope. Yeah, the fucking the intro to SmackDown when it was
Drowning Pool.
Drowning Pool, was it?
Yeah.
Before then though, it was Marilyn Manson.
Was it?
The Beautiful People.
Wow, I didn't know that. Wow, I must
so
have missed that.
That's what I got into that too. But that was the first kind of besides the whole, my mom used to listen to classic rock a lot, so that's where I get my fucking glam metal shit from, like Def Leppard, Poison, all that stuff.
Def Leppard's cool.
She listened to that a lot.
Is there a guitarist in that band?
Phil Collins.
Dude, he's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's dope. Mm-hmm. And then obviously the whole drummer with one arm.
Dude, yeah. Hey, no excuses after this shit, right? For people who it's like, hey, this guy's fucking doing it with one arm. Practice your damn instrument.
There you go. That's true of a lot of things, though. Like, a lot of people always ask me, like, hey, how did you get so good at guitar? Like, how do you get good at it? It's like, if you really think about it, it's just practice.
Yeah.
That's it. Practice. And that's so hard to emphasize because, like, well, then what do I practice? Like,
just play.
Yeah.
Just fucking play, dude. Like, I always get annoyed because, like, there's these apps out there that's like, you're gonna learn how to play guitar. It's like, if you need an app to help you play guitar, it's like you're probably not gonna do well with this.
Yeah.
If you're itching to play guitar and you want to practice, you're gonna do fine.
Yeah, you'll find the smallest resources to learn how to play.
Yeah. I've always thought this about your playing. It's like I see it's like you do the sweeps and shit like that. I can't do those.
Yeah. I'm a really big shredder.
Yeah.
I like again the glam metal scene.
Yeah.
It was all about
You
those
can't
solos,
get away, man.
those big hairs, and the fucking just like even though they were shred masters before they were shred masters, like Paul Gilbert, Michelangelo
That guy's
Beto,
insane.
Yngwie
Maybe it was the guy that
Malmsteen.
does the the double guitar. Yeah.
Those guys, they played in like glam metal bands. They were Mr. Big was.
You had to know your tricks, dude.
Yeah,
If
exactly.
you're gonna play in a glam metal band, you're a showman. You have to fucking know your tricks
and you
your
look good
squeals.
doing it.
Yeah. Dude. I mean, Dimebag was in a glam metal.
Yeah,
band,
that's how they started off.
One of the most celebrated freaking guitarists ever.
Of metal,
Yeah.
of that metal genre.
Yeah. Who are some of your favorite modern guitarists? Like, who are you listening to? Like, who kind of inspires you on a daily basis?
Right now, one of the people I listen to is this band called Buried Alive, but they spell it like a berry,
Yeah.
like buried alive.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a guitar player and a bassist,
Yeah.
but they record all their music and then they just throw it out on Spotify and do like a couple of like recording niches on like they'll play themselves doing playthroughs of their songs.
Oh, okay.
But they use a lot of modulators and so much like awesome like
synth stuff.
yeah, it's so sick. It fucking blows me
I'll have
away.
to check it out, man.
Yeah, dude. Well, I'll have to show you. I would play it on the podcast, but you know, YouTube's a bitch about that stuff.
No, man. YouTube's not very nice. these
Right.
days.
This will be on Spotify as well, though, so we can
nice.
still get some shit out there.
yeah.
But yeah, I've been listening to them a lot, and before Post Malone said it, I was into a band called Necrogoblicon. Because he said
Is it like did it lose the cool factor because Post Malone likes him or something like that?
Well, okay, Joe. He was recently, maybe like 2 months ago or a month ago, was on the Joe Rogan podcast, and they were like getting pretty high and stuff. And he automatically brings up like, have you ever heard of a band called Necrogoblicon? And they start talking about it, and like they didn't blow up, but they got a little bit more buzz because of that. Yeah, because of that. And like I was just like, damn, that's so sick. But I liked them way before that. Like at least 2 years before that. They just
you're like one of the diehards. Like I was at their first show.
They've never come here. I'm so sad, dude.
Yeah.
I've wanted them to come here
I've
so
heard
much.
of that band.
They're
but
sick.
I've never really listened
Dude,
to them.
you'll love them.
Yeah.
They're so cool. It's like they're very melodic. They have a keyboardist in the band, and they have a mascot that goes with them on tour, and he's a goblin. His name is John Goblicon.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, it's a really good gimmick.
pretty cool.
Like they have such a cool gimmick.
I've seen like a goblin in their shit, but like someone actually, it's kind of like Guar. I guess they kind of dress up in shit.
Yeah, just the one guy though. But yeah. Necro.
How would you describe their like? Is it metal?
Melodic death metal.
Wow. Okay.
That's what I would call it, but it still has like poppy synth stuff in it too. So it's not just very death metal.
I'll have to check them out, man. I like. Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, see the first fucking page because he was mentioned on there.
Dude, if your band is mentioned on Joe Rogan, I mean,
I think you get some clout.
you're gonna get some. He recently did that for Coulter Wall. I don't know if you know who that is, but he's a really badass country singer.
Okay.
That and we shared a bill with him. It was the strangest thing, man. So with the trio, so I played Bajo Quinto in my buddy's trio.
Okay.
And we did a show it was at Amarillo last year, and it was the weirdest thing because on the way there to the gig, we were listening to Coulter Wall, and I was like, dude, you guys got to check out this Coulter Wall guy. He's badass.
He's got some chops.
Yeah, I mean, he sounds like a 60-year-old dude that's seen some shit, but he's younger than you and I. Like he has a really badass voice. But we get to the gig, and Carlos is introducing us to all like everybody that's there, and Coulter Wall's there. I'm like, what the hell are you doing here? And it's like, he was playing on the bill. It was the strangest thing. Like I was listening to you 2 hours ago. I had no idea that we were playing a show with you. You know what I mean? It was the weirdest thing. But Joe Rogan recently shouted him out on his podcast. That guy deserves to go places, dude. He's so good.
I remember it was on a recent episode, right? That he did shout out that guy. Because I remember him saying like he has a voice, but he's younger than all of us.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, man! I gotta check that guy out.
Yeah.
He's had some pretty good acts on there too, like Sturgill Simmons. Like I never really I didn't know about him, but he's like a country psychedelic rocker kind of guy. So he has some cool music in himself too.
Country psychedelic rocker. Holy shit.
I actually was not a big fan of country for a long time until But Brad Paisley,
Oh, dude.
Brad Paisley, man, he is
That guy is an amazing guitar player.
he's sick. And then I listen to his music, and some of them are stupid. Like, you know, what the fuck? I wish I had a car. That's a song. Like all it is just like a kid trying to get a car. The lyrics are kind of simple and stuff. Yeah. But then you listen to it, it's like, hey man, I'm pretty sure we've all had this little fascination and dreams. Like, hey, look at this guy, and I want a car too. Like,
Brad Paisley is an amazing artist, he makes me want to go buy a telly and learn how to chicken pick, dude.
Yeah.
Have you seen him play guitar?
Yeah, he's Jesus amazing.
Christ.
He actually has a Telecaster that has a special design on the G string.
The G bender.
Yeah, that thing is beautiful. Shit. I'm just like, how the fuck is that's something I've weird, it's like always wanted. Yeah,
like it bends when I think it's the G string is hooked on like the top strap, right?
Yeah.
Of the what the hell do you call? I'm a guitar player. I don't know what the hell that's called. Where you put the strap at the top. It's like connected to the G string, and you pull it, and it bends it.
Yeah,
it's the coolest thing.
Yeah, and just with the motion of your like, you just push it down.
Yeah, you just push it down, and it's
Because I've always been into a guitar player. His name is Buckethead.
Oh yeah, that guy's crazy,
intense, the best. Every time he comes to New Mexico, I always go see him. I've touched his guitar. He's amazing, man. That guy's a fucking beast. But anyways, he has this. I'll show you the strap later on too. But he has like an elastic strap, so that when you're playing on the guitar, you kind of can just let it. It's just kind of like a rubber band.
Oh wow!
Literally just like a rubber band on. It's so cool because you could do some pretty cool guitar tricks and stuff like that.
Wow.
And that was one thing that I feel like as a band we had really great stage presence because we're always fucking
talking about causes
to become was always moving. We're always trying to do
rocked pretty hard, man.
Synchronize like headbanging with the songs and stuff. We were always trying to
that's how you sell a show.
We even wanted to do pyrotechnics, but like some of the venues were just like, no, if you set off the sprinklers you'll never be allowed to play here again. And we're just like, what the fuck?
But
how did Kiss get away with it?
Yeah. But how metal would it be, though?
Dude, just to do it, right?
Yeah, at least just once.
Especially, like, knowing in the scene, they're like, oh, shit, that's causes to become. Yeah. They set out the sprinklers. They're not allowed to play here anymore.
I always enjoyed, like, the videos you guys post of each other. Or of the band playing live and stuff. You guys are really tight, man.
We had fun, man. I still kind of always play guitar. I have a Twitch channel.
Yeah, you're mentioning that. Yeah.
I do a lot of streaming of guitar, too. Like, I see... It's kind of the same concept as just Matt Heffy.
Yeah.
Because Matt Heffy does a lot of streaming.
Oh, from Trivium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does
I like Trivium.
He does a lot of streaming like that too. So he'll just play a bunch of his stuff, some requests, and then on off days he'll just play video games and start to gain a following.
Oh, like yeah. Because Twitch is basically you can watch. I mean, you do that, right? You play video games and people watching.
Yeah, I play video games, and then I have just a music channel too where I just stream music.
That's awesome.
People can request. Like I have a song list that they literally have to type in a command where it's just !SL.
Yeah.
And then a song list comes up and then they can pick and it starts queuing up for them and stuff.
So it's like, you take requests.
Yeah.
Basically while you're doing it.
Now it depends on the day that I'm playing stuff. There's even some days too where I'm just like, today's stream is just the stuff people don't want to hear. And it's me doing the same lick for almost an hour. Because it's practice.
Yeah, it's practice.
And I want to, if you guys want to see how I get good,
yeah,
that's the process of me getting good.
Dude, literally becoming a better guitar player, you have to, a lot of times you have to play, like, when someone plays a lick seamlessly and it's very technical and they're playing shreddy and they're fast, like, that person played that shit probably 1,000 times, you know what I mean, to get to that point,
Yeah.
Yeah, playing guitar is all about practice, and that's what I was saying earlier. It's like if you need an app to like encourage you to play guitar, you're probably not going to be any good.
Yeah, you're only going to get so far.
Yeah,
as far as like, oh, I made it to level 3 on the app.
Yeah,
I'm going to leave it alone for a while. You'll never get any farther.
Yeah, no Guitar Hero for this guy.
So, being that we talked a little bit about like music and stuff, and you being from like a northern New Mexico Hispanic band, we kind of talk about religion in this podcast a little bit too. Sure, yeah. Are you a religious person? Do you believe in religion, especially with what's going on in the world right now?
Now's the time to have some
people.
Some
people are actually quoting Bible verses saying this might be the end times.
I've heard that, and I don't know. It's a little loony for me, like when people are like, "Oh, this is the end times," and the signs are all there. I don't know. I'm not particularly religious. In fact, I think I spent from high school to about a year or 2 years ago, I was kind of what you'd say, it's kind of a dirty word for me now, but non-theist, atheist. But I think recently I've kind of accepted, well, I'm more agnostic now. You know what I mean? Like I'm not Christian. I'm not Catholic.
You just don't know.
I'm not. Yeah. Or I'm not an atheist anymore.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'd like to hope something's out there. What are you like? What's your story?
I want to say agnostic too, but that even seems kind of weird putting that label on it as well. In general,
labels, man. We're living in times of just labels, and it's like it's kind of hard to cherry pick and put yourself into one bucket of, you know what I mean? Like,
because if you do, you put yourself in one little section, the other person that's in another section doesn't kind of like want to respect you anymore or want to listen to you or anything.
I'd say, the agnostic thing is a safe bet for me, because it's just like, I don't know, nobody who claims to know like what is out there or what is, it's like, you don't possess mental powers I don't have. It's like, you don't know, you know what I mean? It's like, so be humble about it. It's like, I don't know, and hopefully there is, and hopefully if there's like this, ethereal being that looks over us or whatever, it's like, I hope that I'm in its good graces. So,
Right.
If you're a good person, I'm sure that you'll be fine. But
that's what the whole principle of karma and stuff is, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're a good person.
Yeah.
Shit comes to you in a good way.
Absolutely. Yeah. Being from you know how it is. You're from Penasco, which is for people who are watching. It's only like a hop and a skip away from Taos.
Yeah, it's pretty much. I'm still in your county. I'm still in the Taos County.
20 minutes, half an hour away. But
it's a little more humbling though. It's smaller, and it doesn't seem like it's starting to get overpopulated by yuppies.
Yeah, which Taos.
You can see it, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. But I have a couple friends that live in Penasco. But being from like these tiny towns like that, and you see these like churches and stuff, like, I don't know, you can't deny how powerful religion can be, and how much it can bring people together and stuff like that. You go to a church and someone passed away, and it's like, well, we're gathered here and we're celebrating this person's life kind of via this vehicle of religion, whether it's Catholicism or Christianity or Jehovah's Witness. I don't know, but I'm more of an agnostic.
Agnostic. You're just trying to figure it out.
I'm trying to figure it out, dude. Like, I don't think anybody fucking knows what's going on.
Honestly, and if they do, that's sucked up that they're not telling anybody. But this is going more into conspiracy realm, because what's not to say the government knows more about us than we actually know about ourselves.
Yeah, and oh my God.
How many times have we heard of that?
Well, we live in times now where it's like these conspiracy theories and all this shit is just, they're rampant right now.
And it's not. This is a thing, though.
Yeah.
You have to listen to all of them, because if you just be like, no, that's bullshit, then some of them that are true are going to get swept under the table, and you won't get it.
Yeah.
Or if you say that they're all true, the ones that are fake are going to get swept on top of you, and they're going to.
It's easier to say, I don't prescribe to any one of these ideas. I'm just trying to figure it out and see where the hell we land,
Especially now, like, it's 11 years later, and we're still trying to figure out 9/11.
Yeah,
dude.
I was actually watching clips of that stuff, and that stuff just makes my stomach sink watching it. I don't know. I kind of remember where I think I was in third grade. It was picture day, and I walk into the house after school, and my mom and dad are watching the TV and stuff, and it was weird. It was really weird. But I've seen some conservatives like that I follow on Instagram post. There was one guy who put, I wish we could be at September 12th. Not so much asking for tragedy, right? But more just the unity that you saw after that. Because right now, dude, with all this political craziness,
it's a two-sided fight.
Oh my God, dude. It's just so asinine. You know what I mean? Like it's people are so divided. Nobody wants to talk. Nobody wants to have civil conversation with each other anymore. And it's sad to watch. And I'm actually kind of scared, because we're in an election year, obviously, and I don't know. I feel like it's gonna get pretty violent.
That's okay. See, that's the conspiracy / theory that's coming up now. Is like, would there be a civil war?
People say that there might be, man, and it's scary. And honestly, I'll be honest with you. See, the other day, and it was weird, in Espanola of all places.
Espanola.
in Espai.
People don't know what Espanola is, dude. Google it.
But I was driving through there, and there was like a Trump rally, like a Trump parade, which I could give a shit less. If it was a Biden parade, I don't care, whatever, right? But I was driving through there, and people, on horseback and in trucks with flags and Trump signs, and people are on the sidewalk running up and throwing shit at these cars. And I was behind one of these trucks, and the car next to it, the driver took out a coffee thermos and threw it over his vehicle and at the Trump truck. And I think the guy yelled back at him. It's like, what are you doing? Or whatever. And then he started to veer into him. I don't know, dude. I've never understood political violence. I've never understood why people get so mad
over something like this, especially now. I never would have imagined this when I was like a little kid.
Yeah,
like it didn't even happen.
I don't think anybody's ever seen like the political sort of turmoil that we're seeing right now. You know what I mean? It's kind of unprecedented. You know,
that makes me so. I'm like you. I'm a little weary. I'm just like, God damn it! Like, I honestly am on a side where I can't pick between the two because I mean. There's two sides, like
at the end of the day, politics largely comes down to which bag of shit weighs less.
And I've always heard a great I had a guy on the podcast, his name was Matt. He always told me that the best kind of government and stuff is government that adopts from other governments. So like, you know, maybe it does need to have a little socialism in it.
Yeah.
Maybe it does need to have a little communism in it. Maybe you got to throw in a little dictator in there once in a while. But if you have all these ideas that are weighed in, maybe it's good, maybe it's bad, then you start to get this universal idea that is everybody can use.
And I don't know, I feel like a lot of people I don't know, I feel like I've adopted ideas from both parties. I think I believe in things that Democrats feel is like the way to go, Republicans are, you know, feel the way it's the way to go. Like I don't like to kind of align myself with just hard like one way or the other, but I will say like just it's weird. It's hard to talk politics to people because you don't know which one you're going to get. You don't know if you're going to talk to someone who, that's great, to each their own, whatever your idea is, or if you're going to talk to someone who's like, you're a fascist.
Yeah,
right?
you're wrong. You're wrong.
You're a commie or something like that. Like, you know, people just don't know how to talk with each other anymore, you know? And I think, you know, when I was driving through Espanola, seeing sort of that friction there was absolutely indicative of like where we're at as a society. Like nobody can talk anymore. It's really weird.
And that's kind of scary to think about too, because like other countries see what's going on in America. They actually look to America and they're just like, oh shit's not going good. So either it's like, welcome to the podcast, but I have this giant conspiracy that's saying China is ready to take us over.
Yeah,
they're getting close.
Yeah,
and
I think they've wanted to for a long time.
They in their history, they say that they are known as the superpower of the world. They do all of these things to try to influence other countries to make them a superpower. They're trying to take over the South China Sea, the Belt and Initiative Road. I mean, oh man,
a little scary.
What happens when a dominant country like us starts to fall?
Well, the next best one picks it up, I guess. But I don't know. I don't ever see that happening, you know? I think America's too... I think you might be a little more skeptic than I am, but I don't know. America, you know what I mean? Like, you know, our armies are always like, we got bigger balls than you guys, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes to their own detriment. You think about things like Hiroshima and Nagasaki, it's like, oh, maybe we went a little far.
That's one thing, too, to think about, too, is like China doesn't have like the same civil liberties as we do. Like, there's a lot of Americans that have guns. What are you going to do? What is China going to do?
I would not want to live in a place like China. Could you imagine that? It's like, I don't even think you'd be allowed to do something like this.
I can, but probably monitored and censored a certain way.
Yeah, man, that's so crazy.
Can't say China too many times. Talk about the Belt and Initiative Road.
Yeah.
They've bought land from Africa. I can't say any of that probably.
Yeah, it'd be monitored. I don't know. I've always maintained that, you know, we live in, you know, the freest and greatest country ever, you know. But I think that we're having a little bit of, I don't know, we need to get our shit together, I think people are fighting with each other way too much. The thing with politics now is that I feel like people really attach their personal identity to their political beliefs. And it's like if someone challenges that, they feel like, well, you're attacking me as a person, you know what I mean? And I think they're not able to separate them, and that's why you see violence in the streets, like when, you know, in Kenosha or in, you know, name any major city in the last 3 months, you know, they've seen riots and just a lot of violence and shit like that. So I think that's the problem, is like people don't know how to separate my personal identity with my political beliefs. Like they don't know how to do that. And I've never understood like how people can get so violent with someone over just a disagreement in beliefs. It's the weirdest thing. I've never seen anything like that.
I guess the only thing you kind of can put it on is like maybe discord with like certain. Yeah, see, religion is probably our best bet that we can kind of do it with. But now it's turned into more of a, instead of religious persecution, more of like an ethnic and like social diversity thing where. You see it now. Unfortunately, cops are assholes.
They can be for sure.
But there are those good ones too. Like you can't. There's so much of a lump sum where automatically you're already on two sides. Again, bad cops, good cops. Like I see it now too. Like I just yesterday was the UFC fight with Colby Covington and Tyron Woodley.
I didn't watch that. Did you watch that?
Yeah, it was a good fight. Covington won. But his response was shout out to the first responders and the police officers out there and stuff. I get it. That makes sense. But you also need to address a problem that was happening within them too.
Yeah. Like, and that's the thing is like the weird thing is like when this whole George Floyd thing happened. I don't think there was anybody who wasn't standing arm in arm with people. I was like that was bullshit, whatever. But then, you know, I think it went to the next extreme when you start to see, like, cities burning down and shit. It's like, hey, like, let's arrest them and let's take care of it. But, like, when you see other you know, African-Americans dying during protests and riots and lootings and shit like that, it's like, well, aren't we cutting our nose to spite our face here? Like, you know what I mean? Like, aren't we kind of adding to the problem, you know? Yeah. So that's kind of that's where I'm at. But, I don't know. I kind of wish none of this shit would happen, dude. It's just, I mean, it happened in 2013, I think with Michael Brown, there were riots. There were, you know, a bunch of Jacob Blake now recently. I don't know. I think that we shouldn't be painting with like these broad strokes that everybody's saying is wrong. It's like, don't generalize, right? Not all cops are bad. Not all name ethnic group here. Not all of them are criminals. Like, you know, let's just take it one situation at a time and kind of see how we end up.
Nice, you know what I mean? And it's just like trying to be equal with each other. That's how I see it. Is like, unfortunately, we've painted this thing where we all have different diversities, ethnicities, religions, race, and stuff. But in real general, we still can have sex with each other and reproduce no matter what color we are.
Yeah, it's all love. It's all love.
There's no no difference in that shit. I love that statement. It's all love.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah,
it really is.
I'm ready to be done with it, man. I'm kind of curious what happens in November, though.
Dude, okay, there's
unprecedented times. Okay, so we have a pandemic, right?
Rioting going on.
Rioting. We got the election. We got everybody wants to do mail-in voting, and it's like, man, I don't know. Kind of worried about November because I feel like if
I'm telling you, man, China.
I know, yeah. It's like, well, you know, they call it the Wuhan virus. They've called it that before.
So who knows?
Where'd it come from? You know, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where it wraps up. But the thing is, like, in the meantime. You know, we have all of our vices to kind of keep us distracted. Music for me.
Yeah, dude, that's number one.
It's kind of weird. It's kind of really weird. But this new album that I'm throwing out with my project, I reached the finish line because of this pandemic. It's really weird.
You would be amazed how many people have been telling me they've been working more on their music because of this. Yeah, and it makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, you know,
you start to reevaluate the time that needs to be spent.
When you're locked up in your house for 12 hours. You know, when your regular day is gone, you know, you get to do the things that you don't have time for normally, and this was definitely one of them. So I don't know. For now, that's kind of keeping me distracted from all this stuff. Sometimes I don't even like to turn on the news or mindlessly scroll through like the Instagrams and the Facebooks and all that stuff because it's just depressing, you know. But music kind of keeps me up on those, you know, on those weird times.
Just staying up with it and stuff.
Yeah.
And there's always something new going on, something interesting. Do you want to throw another one of these bad boys out?
I'm totally doing another one.
Do it. Bring me another one, dude. But
I love the mini fridge. It's totally stocked, dude. I didn't even have to bring beer here for this thing to be stocked.
I was like, fuck yeah, bro. We got some shit here. MuseMe TV. Everywhere your podcasts are available. Spotify, Apple, iTunes, Google. You know all that good stuff. You guys are awesome.
I want to catch that on the mic.
Speaking of, so let's stray away a little bit from too much negative talk about
too much politics, man.
Oh man, we as a human race, as individuals, know nothing about us as the human race or individuals.
It's like, what did we learn? Nothing.
One of the things that I've always been fascinated about is how history unravels itself more and more. Mm-hmm. So, like certain things, like have you heard that the pyramids are actually older than they appear to be? That they were actually built by
aliens.
Aliens? Aliens? See, that's the fucked up but beautiful thing about Ancient Aliens is that it opened up people's minds, but yet it opened them up to this guy with a fucked up hairstyle.
Dave, do you believe in aliens?
I do.
Oh, yeah,
I do. I believe, but
I think you'd be ignorant not to believe in that shit.
but I don't know. Again, there's
We're agnostic.
alien believers.
There we go.
Because have you ever heard of a thing known as the Fermi paradox? So what the Fermi paradox is, there's 3 scenarios of where aliens could technically be. That the universe expands so much that there's no way that aliens will ever reach
aliens.
us. We can't be reached.
Right?
So if the Earth is expanding, space is expanding, aliens try to come to us, it's so long of a journey they'll never get to us.
Yeah.
They never can.
Yeah.
There's that aspect.
Light years and light years and light years away.
The other aspect is that there's a gray filter. That there's this.
I've heard of this.
There's this thing that we have to break, this point in our existence that we have
it's
to.
so funny you bring that up. I heard about this. It's like there's alien civilizations, and maybe we're one where that, like, you know,
They keep observing.
They throw things like coronavirus at us, and it's like, what if this is our filter? What if we don't get past this? It's so funny you brought that up because I actually watched something about this not that long ago.
Yeah, that's the gray filter.
Yeah.
And the other one.
Shout out to my buddy Cheese because he's the one that showed me that.
Dope.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, man. Keep your mind open.
Yes, sir.
The other one would be that we're technically are the first ones.
Yeah.
There
But that's
is
scary.
there
though.
is there is life. And it is forming. It is trying to form, but we unfortunately got there first.
Do you think that aliens have touched Earth anywhere?
Oh, I believe so. I do believe, especially with the reports that the Pentagon and the
Did
Air
you hear
Force.
recently that people thought they saw a UFO, but it was like a Goodyear blimp or some shit?
Yeah, see how bad this is getting.
Fuck,
This is
man.
getting so
I
bad.
kind of wish wishful thinking. I wish it was actually alien life, but dude, there was one time where we were on a gig in Alco, Nevada, and my buddy Phil and I all day. We were there for two nights, 2 shows. And we watched you ever watch History Channel? It's like the Ancient Aliens or whatever. We watched like 10 hours worth of that shit.
Yeah, but when it first came out, when it first came out, it's actually pretty interesting. And if you really dive into it and start looking into it, you can't refute some of the stuff they talk about.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they have this dude with a fucked up haircut telling you to believe.
Oh yeah, the meme guy.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people are so like, maybe it's not. Oh, great. And are you a big South Park fan?
I'm more of a Family Guy, dude.
Wow. So give me a second, bro. I have to do this. Dude. How I don't even think Family Guy has ever made an episode about South Park, but South Park has made multiple episodes about fucking Family
long
Guy.
is this boo, man? Holy shit.
I know, right? God, these people must really. Calm down.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Calm down, live studio.
So
audience.
wait, Family Guy.
Absolutely, man. I love Family Guy.
Damn.
Although I was kind of disappointed with it recently. I don't know, and kind of quickly venturing back into some of the, I guess, political sphere. But Mike Henry, the voice of Cleveland, you know, he stepped down as the voice of Cleveland. Cleveland, obviously being a black character. I feel like this role should go to someone who's African American, so that they're represented or whatever. It's like, dude, you've been doing that voice for like 20 years, and now you're stepping down because of this. It's like, I don't know, it's a little weird.
No, I love that example. The same example was for Apu from The Simpsons.
Oh yeah,
He is no longer a character that comes out.
It's like a beloved character. Like people have been watching it for 30 years, and now it's just gone because of politics. You know,
Exactly.
I don't know, but yeah. Long story short, I am definitely a Family Guy fan.
So I love how we strayed away from aliens, but
That's what I love about podcasts, though, man. Because it's like one of us can say something and it'll spark a whole different tangent, and there's just so much to cover.
But that's
why
only
I love podcasts.
But that's only this kind of podcast, because it could be one of those podcasts where me and you are like, "Hey, let's listen to the new A Resolved album,"
Oh, yeah.
and then you have to critique the whole thing. That's all we talk about. That's it.
Just be kind if you do.
We're gonna go ahead and give this a review on Yelp right away. But yeah, see, that's
Maybe
the
the
thing.
Karen of music.
That's the thing of certain niches of podcasts too. Is if you're looking for something like that, you can find it now.
Dude, yeah, absolutely. It's like podcasts in large part, especially for like super popular ones. It's like those are the new kind of public square where people talk shit out. They're just like what we were doing. We were talking about politics, we're talking about religion, and stuff that's kind of like taboo. But I mean, it's crazy just the different tangents that you know
you can go off.
Yeah,
into.
absolutely. Yeah, that's why I love podcasts.
That's the beauty of being able to talk about this stuff too, because like, okay, we started talking about aliens and stuff, but we never even touched the part of my cousin Juan.
My cousin Juan.
But that's the beauty is like, so going into the alien thing, there is they say that the aliens have actually been influenced by the government, that the government influences the aliens. How do you believe in that? Have you ever heard of an alien race called the reptilians?
No. Well, maybe like the lizard people and shit? Yeah.
The reptilians.
I've heard about that.
Yeah. They say that there's a lot of people in higher power that are just shapeshifters.
Jeez.
Could
you imagine?
That?
So, have you ever seen that movie They Live?
I haven't.
With it's a John Carpenter movie, and Roddy Piper comes out in it. Dude,
okay.
You'll like it.
They
Just
Live?
watch it. Yeah.
Okay.
It's basically about like this guy who discovers that aliens basically are in charge of the world, and that they're making us like obey. They're making us, buy things, obey, don't ask questions, whatever, subliminally. You'd love it. I'm sure you'd love it. If you're an alien guy, you gotta watch fucking They Live, dude. It's awesome.
They Live. All right, we'll have to check that out. But yeah, that's one of those little niches that people talk about, that they're just like, there's aliens that influence us.
Have you ever seen a UFO?
Have I?
Yeah.
Not personally.
No?
No.
I feel like I have.
Have you? Well, I mean, you've been all over the road. Hopefully you've seen something.
Hopefully you've seen some shit and have something to show for it.
Right? I mean, if Tom DeLonge has seen something on the road, how have you not?
Yeah. Although I'm not on the road as much as Tom DeLonge, but you'd hope that.
Right, yeah. You would hope.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like
and you're in a state where there's like a bunch of sightings already.
Oh, yeah.
So like, come on.
What do we got? The Roswell?
And not only that, we have the Los Alamos National Labs.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know about this, but in our national labs, we are the only radio detectant of nuclear activity. Mm-hmm. So if nuclear activity were to happen in Europe, a little light in
We're
national,
gonna find out.
yeah, we know it goes off in New Mexico in the national labs.
Isn't it? And wasn't the Trinity test site here? Like where they set off the first
White Sands.
Yeah, there we go.
That was White Sands.
Yeah. New Mexico's kind of crazy for that kind of stuff.
I think it's a little.
I have family that works at Los Alamos.
Do you?
Yeah.
How far do they get? Level 2 clearance.
I forget which one he has. It's nothing crazy, but I'm sure if I ask him questions, he's gonna have to kill me. So.
Yeah, I can't find. All you have to ask him is, who's Bob Lazar? That's all you have to ask him.
I'll ask him next time.
Ask him who Bob Lazar is. Did you see that about him coming up?
I don't know who that is.
Bob Lazar is the guy that used to work at Los Alamos National Labs. Mm-hmm. He used to work in a section where they actually have, it was a really top secret underground spot where they found what they say is alien technology. So they tried to work on this. Top scientists here from the government were trying to work on this, and they couldn't figure it out. Wow. So they're like, fuck, what do we do? All right, let's go look for amateur scientists that are really smart but aren't really working for us. So they found this guy named Bob Lazar, who's actually famous for making a jet propulsion rocket in a motorcycle.
This is starting to sound familiar. I feel like
it was in Los Alamos. It was on the paper and everything back in like the 70s.
Yeah.
It's history there. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
But anyways, he was famous, and he ended up started working at the national labs.
Yeah.
So they end up sending him to the national labs, and he works underground in the secret project on this anti-gravity matter device. He actually released an element before it was actually put on the periodic table.
I feel like I've read about this somewhere.
He was on the Joe Rogan podcast as well.
Oh, that might have been where I heard about this.
Bob Lazar.
Fucking Joe Rogan likes to talk a lot about UFOs.
Dude, oh man, that's why me and Joe do this podcast, man. That's why
I like to talk about aliens and shit.
And DMT. That's all we talk about.
Yeah.
But so he was in New Mexico this whole time. Mm-hmm. The crazy thing about New Mexico is that they let him do all this stuff, and then they tried to erase his memory because he kept telling a bunch of friends. Mm. Not only did he tell his friends, he literally told his friends, on this night, at this time, go to this mountain site and watch what happens.
Really?
And the government was doing tests. They were doing tests trying to figure out what was up.
Wow.
Element 115, mescovium.
Someone shouting you out?
Yeah, Gas Mask, thanks again for, he's a recurring commentator but he's talking about the element that I was talking about, element 115.
Okay, yeah. There we go, yeah.
Mascovium.
Wow. Yeah, I've never heard of that.
And he said it before. Yeah, he said it before all of this stuff. He's like, yeah, there's this secret element. It's on the periodic table. And then a few years later, the government finally said, hey, we got this new element, 115.
Yeah.
So Bob Lazar is kind of like this, what's going on here scenario.
Yeah. It's scary shit, dude. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder about how much the government keeps, like, under wraps. And, you know, a lot of people have different conspiracies about, like, you know, alien sightings and, I guess, political hit jobs and, you know, 9/11s and whatever. You know, you could insert incident here, and the government probably has some shit that we don't know about.
Dude, it's so crazy to think about, too, because, like, it feels like we should know so much more.
Yeah.
Being...
You know what, I think since we're talking about this, I feel like you'd like a movie called Edge of Darkness.
Edge of Darkness?
Yeah, it's a Mel Gibson movie. I don't know how you feel about Mel Gibson.
Ew.
But hey, the dude can do no wrong except for that one time.
Edge of Darkness?
Yeah.
2010, it looks like.
Yeah. It's about...
Damn, look at that. Look at that fucking promo shot. Jesus.
Mel Gibson with a gun.
Damn,
Yeah,
this
you
is
can't go
dude,
wrong.
this is before Christ.
Yeah, or after.
BC, baby.
Dude, but basically this movie is about like his daughter who works with like a science, I don't know, some sort of top secret government agency or whatever, and they put out a political hit on her and he's trying to figure it out. It's a great movie.
Dope.
It's another one of those conspiracy driven sort of movies.
And that may, I mean, it makes, I mean, who knows, right? I mean, there's been so many times where the government has taken over certain areas. They're just like, oh, the resources of Venezuela just went down. Now we own the Panama Canal.
Yeah.
Like, that shit's so crazy how that...
Coincidence?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But then it's just
I mean,
me...
the government scares us sometimes. Especially, you know, like when they put out movies that kind of like allude to those kinds of things, like, well... is this real life? You know,
they say they call that desensitization.
Oh yeah,
where they kind of show you it, and when
purposefully, it's like here we're not doing anything like this. This is just entertainment. You know?
Yeah, and then when it does come to reveal, they're like, "See, we showed you. Why didn't you guys believe it?"
Yeah, it's a little scary.
This is the beautiful thing about the alien phenomenon because we've seen so many representations of them. Mm-hmm. E.T., reptiles, aliens with big heads,
killer clowns from outer space.
Killer clown. We've seen all of them. So if we were to be visited by an alien, we won't be as freaked out because we have this mentality.
Would they look like us, maybe?
Who knows? There is a rendition. They say that there are aliens that look like us. Have you ever heard of an alien race called the Pleiadians?
No.
Yeah, they say they look...
Where the hell do you read all this stuff?
I'm just a fucking nerd, dude.
You're always on the Google just
yeah,
checking this
just
shit
fucking... I once saw this video like 5 years ago. It's kind of hard to find now, but you can find it on YouTube. It's called the Alien Race Book. Mm-hmm. So it's an...
race book.
Like literally from A to Z of alien races.
Really?
There's like 25 A's.
Oh wow,
dude!
So 25 for the letter A.
Yeah, like 17 B's,
Wow.
3 C. There's so many, dude.
I wonder if they look like the. Have you ever seen that movie Mars Attacks?
Oh yeah, and they start. They'll describe it too. They'll be like, I can't remember any of the names. I'm just trying to describe bullshit. But they describe the name and they describe how it kind of looks or how they got this record of this alien. They're like, oh, we actually found this record of an alien because another alien told us about it.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
You know what? Now we're talking about aliens. Do you watch Unsolved Mysteries on Netflix?
I not on Netflix.
No? So they started to like revamp that show.
They did it again, yeah.
For those of you who don't know, Unsolved Mysteries is like a... It's like a big show. I don't know if it's like the 80s or 90s.
I think it was the 90s.
So, but Netflix, like, I guess, acquired the rights and they're doing it now. And there was one episode where they talk about a town, like several towns within, you know, kind of the general vicinity of each other. It's like several alien sightings throughout one night or something like that. And like the whole episode is about like everybody's different account of like what they saw or what happened and stuff like that.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, that show scares me a little bit.
Oh man. The Unsolved Mysteries, I remember my mom watching it back in the day, but it was all just about like murder.
Music is haunting.
Is it? I can't remember what it sounds like.
I don't know. You'd have to pull it up. Well, without YouTube striking.
Yeah, don't you hate? Yeah, don't you hate that, dude? YouTube is a bitch. Oh man, there was this. I listened to this guy. His name is Red Bar, and he was giving shit to Joe Rogan because Joe Rogan you've seen him at his new podcast studio.
I watched like 2 episodes, I think. Yeah.
There was one episode where
A lot of people hate it. I like it.
It's not bad. I thought it's cool too.
Yeah.
There was one episode where he was at the new studio and he was talking to Adam Curry, supposedly the godfather of podcasting, one of the first guys ever.
Yeah, I think I saw a little bit.
Anyways, he was talking about his transition to Spotify, to YouTube. He's like, I have no beef with YouTube. They did good to me, blah, blah, blah. They did awesome. But I've been listening to Joe Rogan for a while and stuff. And every once in a while, you'll hear Joe Rogan be like, yeah, YouTube's just a bunch of bitches where they don't even let us play a song.
Well, dude, and not only that, but like if he says the wrong thing, they demonetize.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if he says something that they don't like or that's controversial, they just demonetize the whole thing. And you've seen a lot of YouTube channels kind of go through that. A lot of conservative YouTube channels go through that.
That's so crazy to think about too. I mean, I'm not assuming your political gender right now. I'm not saying you're a conservative or a Democrat, but I don't know if you knew this, but in most schools and universities, it's mostly dominated by the Democratic or left wing.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong. I hate when people are right now. They're probably like, "Oh, this damn fucking this damn right wing. This guy's totally on the wrong side."
But that's the problem, though. It's like I think if you don't have the set of values that they want you to, or if you stray slightly from it, it's like fascist. That's what I was talking about earlier. It's like you're a fascist, or you're a this, or you're that. Like, and that's an absolutely accurate, I guess, depiction of what's going on. I mean, a lot of universities are very much overtaken by sort of that ideology.
Yeah, and it's kind of scary to think about too, is because like, oh man, people start bringing up stupid things like, oh well, your founding fathers were racism, or your founding fathers believed in slavery, and it's just like, dude, we all started the same fucking way. Like, calm down.
You should be like, well, I don't. You know what I mean? It's like, don't attribute what they did or to me.
I had a friend post up this video about music where it was actually talking about music was dominated by white supremacy.
Dude,
how do you feel about that?
I'll be honest with you, like,
I mean, unfortunately, we're not. I don't know about you, but I'm not a giant music buff, and I don't know every ins and outs
I don't even
of
know
music
theory. Like, I can't,
very little, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, music theory. I guess I know some music theory, but like reading it, I don't.
Yeah.
But I saw that same video, and I was just like, okay, well, is it weird now for like an African American to enjoy classic music now? Because you're saying that it was based on racism or whatever. It's like,
I don't think it was not that it was based on it, but just the way that it's taught. I think that's what they're trying to throw out.
Yeah.
Is like we can't. I don't. Do you know a little bit about Spanish music theory?
I guess not.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? Their chord basis is based off of the scale of do re mi fa sol. Like,
oh yeah.
So if you play a C chord, they'll call it sol.
Yeah.
The sol chord, the de ra chord.
I never quite like caught on to what like do re, like, if someone says it's the key of fa, it's like I don't know what that means. Say F, say a note, like then I'll know what you're talking about. But I never quite caught on to that. I don't know. I mean, to me, in my opinion, like music's music, man. Like, I'm not about to get into the semantics of like, well, so for example, Stevie Ray Vaughan, one of the best blues guitarists ever to fucking play guitar, right? He wasn't black. You know what I mean? But
all. He had more soul than a bunch of other black people, though.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like, well, he was good at it. I don't give a shit what he looks like. You know what I mean?
Look at Jimi Hendrix. He played guitar better than all the white people that he tried to replicate.
Yeah.
Like, he saw those replications.
It's just like, you did good. You're a badass. We love you. You know what I mean? Like, I try not to get wrapped up with like that stuff, like the video you mentioned to me earlier. It's like, well, music's music. You know what I mean? That's all it comes down to. If music can affect your soul and inspire you and whatever, like it's all good. I don't give a shit. You know
true.
What I mean?
Very true.
That's kind of where I'm at. So.
I remember the first time I actually heard about genres and stuff, I was like, this kind of sucks because like I'll go from Slayer to listening to Slayer to Tupac to maybe listening to Yngwie Malmsteen.
Yeah.
So all of those to me is just music.
Yeah, absolutely.
Music.
The same way that like I love Car Bomb, which is like some of the mathiest kind of prog metal out there, and I'll listen to shit like Eminem. Like that's another example of like where people are kind of getting weird with the race stuff. Like Eminem's one of the greatest rappers ever to fucking do it. He's not black, but he raps better than anybody I've ever seen. You know what I mean? So I don't get wrapped up with like the, oh, well, you're not white enough or you're not black enough. It's like, dude, if you do good at it, if you're, music's music.
Yeah, people recognize real no matter what race you are.
Absolutely. Cheers to that.
That's so true, man. It's crazy to think about that. We've got to this point in our life that we've separated so much.
Have you heard about what the Oscars are doing?
Please don't tell me it's something bad. I haven't.
Really bad.
I haven't. Tell me. Let's find out.
So basically, to be a contender for any award, anything from Best Picture to Best Actor, you have to fit certain criteria. You have to hit 2 markers of 4, and I don't know them off the top of my head like word for word, but basically it has to represent anyone from the following categories, and it talks about underprivileged minorities, from there all the way to like LGBTQ stuff, like. So basically, like the only way you're gonna be recognized for a movie you do is you have to represent, your movie has to represent someone within those.
So this is from September 8th, 2020. In order to meet the standard, a film must have either at least 2 leadership positions or departments headed by the undetermined group, at least 1 be from an racial or ethnic group, at least 6 other crew members be from dang. It's even going into the crew.
It's even worse than I thought. I didn't know that it extended to the crew.
Yeah, so you probably have to make sure that like your camera lighting man, dude, like all of these other
people. What is that if not like or racism? Like, in order to qualify for this award, you must be this or that. It's like, come on, dude. Like, art is art. You know what I mean?
And you should think of it more as like the best man for the job.
Absolutely.
Or the best woman for the job. Sorry, not trying to be gender acutely, but you get what I'm saying. That's another topic.
I know, yeah. It's like you have to. Everybody's so touchy. It's like, well, I'm sorry if I didn't allude to this category or that category.
The first thing I should have said to you on this podcast was like, how would you like me to identify you? That's the first thing I should have said.
Apache helicopter, please.
Damn. So muscle car.
Yeah. I'm a transformer. Thank you.
See, but that's how crazy it is now too, because that's the side of the left that's kind of making it seem like a very fascist kind of thing, where it's like you gotta kind of say what I want you to say. Thank you for saying
that, because I agree. You know, like when you're getting into shit, like we're only gonna recognize you for this award if you represent A, B, C, D, not artistically, but like you have to literally have been born this way.
Yeah.
That's just fucking crazy, man. It's like I don't want to live in that world. I don't want to live in a world where, if Leonardo DiCaprio, for example,
never wins,
puts out an amazing movie, but doesn't win because he's not black. It's like, what the fuck are we doing? You know what I mean? It's really weird. I don't like this PC culture. I don't like cancel culture, and I think I don't know. They're not doing themselves any favors with that shit.
It's making it more of a divided state where it's not going to end pretty.
No.
At all.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. I'm kind of curious to see how their next. When do the Oscars happen? Like every October, November.
When the
it's in the fall for sure.
Happen. I love when it was like when the Oscars happened. February.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah. So like I'm kind of wondering, like, the next time the Oscars happen, what's gonna win, or like based on what? Like, what's gonna win? I don't know. I don't know if they've already like enacted like this criteria or whatever, but it's asinine. It's stupid.
Right.
Yeah, art is art. Like if you make a good movie, you should be recognized for it, whether the lead actor was black, white, whatever the hell. You know what I mean? So I think that they're not doing themselves any favors with that.
And what's gonna be the case when it starts transitioning to music?
Oh my god,
that's gonna be even harder.
Well, to be fair, I feel like you don't need a Grammy award to be good. You know what I mean? Like, if people only listen to music based on who has Grammy awards, I mean, come on. You know what I mean? Some of my favorite bands in the world
have never even been to the Grammys.
Will never go to the Grammys. You
know
what I mean? All your Taylor Swifts of the world, they're fine. They'll get their Grammys, but like bands like Periphery, I thought it was so cool. Like when you were kind of promoting that I was coming on the show.
It's Only Smiles, man.
Yeah, dude. I'm a big Periphery fan. Although I shouldn't have mentioned them because they actually got nominated for a Grammy. They got nominated for one. But like bands like that though, like normally they do not get recognized for that kind of shit. So I don't know. I don't want to live in a world where like we're awarding people based on their race, because that's literally what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Stuff like the Oscars being like, well, you can only win an award if you're this color or that color or whatever, or if you identify with this sexual group or that sexual group. It's like, come on, dude. Like art is art.
Because
I mean?
yeah, especially now going into the sports realm of the sector, like okay, transgender athletes that transition from male to female and dominate in the female sports.
Dude. See,
that's kind of hard.
It's a little, you know, I would never treat someone with disrespect.
I'm not a hateful person either, man.
Yeah, but at some point it's like,
can't you tell the difference?
Yeah.
Can't you tell the difference? I love all the examples that Joe Rogan gives. I mean, I sound like a fucking Joe Rogan bitch.
Dude, I am too. I love Joe Rogan.
But yeah, he does. There's some dude. You've grown up your whole life as a male until the age of 25, and then you're just like, now I want to be a woman. Yeah. You had all this time to develop such strong muscles, such amazing cardio.
It matters because, you know, when you have like a transgender person that's going from male.
Oh, we're losing viewers. We're losing viewers.
Yeah. Hey, well, I mean, and that's the thing. It's so weird. It's so weird. It's like you shouldn't have to worry about saying these kind of things.
Yeah, exactly.
It's weird, you know. Like,
that's why I try to be as open as I can, because it's not that I am bashful or that I hate this. It's just that I don't know.
Yeah,
I really don't know, especially at the age that I am now.
On all fronts, right? It's like I'm just trying to figure this shit out.
Like, especially where we come from, dude. This wasn't something that's introduced to us at a very young age. We weren't from Los Angeles. We're not from New York, where they kind of like, this is going on. Dude, my grandpa doesn't even know what a transgender is. That's crazy.
Okay, well, I mean, this is I guess where it matters too. Like, you know, Netflix, for example, they came out with this cuties thing, right?
Oh, dude, I can't believe how much backlash that's gotten. That's crazy.
Well, and I think it should.
I make it. It's gross. It's portraying little girls in a way that's sexualizing them.
A little bit weird.
But then again, you hear the backlash from the creator and stuff. This is a story of her. This is a story of her trying to come up.
Really?
Yeah, and that's what kind of sucks too, is like, oh, I get it. Like, you as a little kid, you've always wanted to be a dancer. You probably did want to do all these grown-up things.
And I guess as a story it works, but at the end of the day, like, to make this movie, they did literally have to film these young girls doing that shit.
Yeah, that's kind of weird, yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, to each their own. I try not to be like a to your point, like a hateful person or whatever, but like, we should be able to talk about these things and not worry about the repercussions for just expressing ourselves, you know what I mean? Like, that's ultimately, I feel like that's where we're at as a society. It's like, you know, we can't even talk about this shit without people like getting primal, you know what I mean? Like, wanting to, you know, bash you over the head with a club if they had one, you know?
about the littlest things. I love that you brought up that Netflix thing, because I don't know, Netflix gets away with a lot of things, man. Netflix has been doing some crazy ass things that it's just like, dang.
That was one of them, you know. It's interesting too, like, you know, Dave Chappelle. You know, I'm sure you're a fan of Dave Chappelle.
Dude, yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure you've followed what I've been doing recently. Since COVID, unfortunately. Before COVID happened, 6 months before that, I actually ventured into stand-up comedy.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, so I was doing.
How was that going?
Dude, that's fun as fuck, man. And unfortunately, awesome. COVID hit, but I was still doing open mics every night. It's okay. Here's the great thing about comedy: it's almost just like music. You have to put yourself out there. You have to do it in front of people. But the difference is that you get to almost play your material every night.
Yeah.
And in music, you kind of are like hoping for a gig. You're just like, hey, can I get a gig this week, or can I get a gig this month?
Yeah.
In comedy, if there's an open mic, you go to it.
Yeah, I love that you brought up stand-up comedy, because I love comedy.
Dude.
Who are some of your favorites? Like, who are some of your favorite comics that you...
Right now, the guy that I love so much, I can't stop watching him, is Mark Norman.
I don't know if I've heard of him.
You'll love his shit. Yeah. He's got a great special on Netflix right now called Out to Lunch.
Mark
Norman,
okay.
I'll send you a little link. Yeah. That's one guy I have to get you into.
We got to start trading goods, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude, you got to come more on, dude.
Yeah,
you could be a recurring guest,
Hell
dude.
Yeah.
Dude, this is how fun is it just coming and talking to somebody, because nobody does this anymore. Humans don't do this anymore. It's either a nuance of talking on your phone or like a facial kind of thing.
Poison, dude. They straight up. And I'm a victim of it myself. Like,
But is it a poison, or is it one of the best innovative technologies that we've gone through in our lives?
at some level, because to be fair, because you and I kind of reconnected
Through there,
you know
yeah.
what I mean, yeah.
Right? It's not like I'm ever going to see you at a store.
Yeah, yeah. It's like I don't think I'd seen you probably since a little after I graduated high school. It's like, but what's funny is you told me that you didn't even remember that because there was like a ski accident. Or something.
Never. I don't remember anything about you.
Yeah.
Like the only thing I know is that you did date my classmate.
Yeah.
And that I knew you played in the band, and you did
but it was all through social media.
Yeah, that I saw that you did it in the band and stuff.
Yeah. That's crazy. What the hell happened, man? Like,
when I was, I think 23, I was working as a ski lift operator at Sipapu.
Okay.
At Sipapu, and just one day I had off, and they're just like, I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna use my free ski pass, go skiing. Went by myself. I didn't go with any friends or anything. I was just like, I just need to practice, need to get better, just start. Because I have this niche about if I start to learn something, I got to get really good at it.
Yeah.
Same thing now, like comedy.
Yeah.
Dude, I can show you magic tricks that will blow you away.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
That's awesome.
I love nunchucking. I've been working on nunchucks for a few years now.
Nunchuck skills.
I have an amazing gymnastics talent. But I love to like learn something and get really hard depth into it. So this was the same thing with skiing. I started skiing a lot, and I was like, fuck it, I'll go on my off days and shit like that. I won't even go with friends because none of them want to go. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
So I went one day. All I remember that morning is just parking the vehicle.
Oh shit.
That's it. And then 2 days later, waking
Woke
up
in a hospital.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
That's all I remember. And they told me that I was airlifted, that they even tried to put like this suction tube in me to like help me resuscitate air or something. I wasn't taking it. I was just like so out of it and stuff like that.
So, but like, okay, so like, obviously you don't remember the accident.
No.
Right? But like, do people know what happened or like what the hell happened?
Nobody
You know
said
what I mean?
that nobody saw the accident. The only thing they said that somebody saw me laying on the snow face down.
Wow.
Like just like that, face down.
And you have no recollection of what
At all.
Wow.
I technically forgot how to play a couple of our songs in the band.
Wow.
Yeah, like I was playing a couple of the originals that we wrote, and it just felt weird. It didn't. Like the muscle memory was gone.
Yeah, exactly. Like you couldn't remember what you wrote.
Exactly. It was so weird. So it came back to me after a few practices and stuff. But that was one of those
How long were
experiences.
you out? Like you were unconscious. You wreck, right? You woke up 2 days later in the hospital.
Yeah.
So you're out for 2 days.
I was literally unconscious for about 74 or 72 hours.
Jeez.
So almost like 3 days.
Christ,
Yeah.
man. Well, I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah.
I'm super glad you're okay.
But I always tell people too, is like, you never know, man. Just fucking knock me on the head on the wrong spot and you just reignite something, dude. I could just go, straight dumb right away.
That reminds me of a Family Guy gag. Like, sometimes just the slightest tap. And then he knocks himself out.
Yeah, see, so I don't know. I just really don't know.
Wow, yeah. Well, I mean, I guess long story short, in any case, like, I do remember meeting you at least a couple times, I think. But back to what we were talking about, it's like it was through these phones that we reconnected. Because I'd seen Jaden on your podcast, and I was like, dude, that's so cool you do a podcast. Jaden's awesome, whatever. And we did legit reconnect through that. So yeah. I guess they have their use, but sometimes, people just mindlessly scrolling on their fucking phones, man.
All right, let's go through some of the positive and negative of the phone.
Yeah.
So the positive, you literally have knowledge at your fingertips.
Oh, absolutely.
Everything.
You want to know who assassinated Stalin? Right there.
When was the first top hit album when you were born?
Yeah.
It's all there.
Yeah. What day did we land on the moon? It's there.
It's all there.
Yeah.
But then you have other stuff where you're like, okay, this is my problem right now. So there's this girl that I met, and I actually really like her. I've met her a few times at a Comic-Con, but I don't think she remembers me.
Yeah.
So at the Comic-Con, we hit it off pretty cool, and she was really awesome. But that was almost like a year ago.
2 years.
Yeah, that's been so long. So now I like
trying to like reconnect at some
through Instagram, and it doesn't work at all. I seem like a fucking creep. Like I'm coming like, oh my god, this guy's creeping me out.
Honestly, you'd be surprised. I mean, I don't know. So at the end of the day, like connecting with someone on something like Instagram is not going to be the same as
Social
if you run
media.
it. Well, it's not going to be the same as if you run into them at a concert or at a bar or something.
Or even just in person,
and you
yeah.
have a fucking conversation with them like face to face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's not the same because what gets lost is body language. What gets lost is context when you're talking to someone and stuff like that. So I don't know. Like I said, I mean, they have their positives and their negatives. You get to see what your friends are doing all the time, but like at the end of the day, if you want to meet people, sometimes it's a little awkward.
Weird,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
It's like you'd rather that happen to your point, like at a Comic-Con again, or like you maybe. Well, now we can't really take people out because of COVID. And
It's
shit.
weird, yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, they have their uses. Like I said, I mean, I found out that you were doing this podcast through Jaden. It was weird though. I have you on Facebook. I don't think I had you on Instagram, but I saw that he was on the show, and it's like, dude, I didn't even know that Angel did like a podcast, which is really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, phones have their uses.
And yeah, it's just technology in general has its great uses. I'm embracive of technology.
Yeah. Oh, I can tell, man. I mean,
Like I want Neuralinks in my brain right now.
I think Elon Musk is working on that.
It's gonna be there. He actually did that clinical trial on the pigs. Did you see that?
I heard something about that,
Yeah.
but I wasn't like, I don't know what happened.
3 pigs got the Neuralinks in their heads.
Didn't he reanimate like some pigs or some shit like that?
What happened was like 3 pigs were tested. One of them did not have the Neuralinks. One of them did have it for 6 months and then was removed, and the other one had it in it already. So you can see that you can actually have it implanted and deplanted without it changing you.
Wow.
So you can put it in your brain and be like, let me try it. And if you don't like it, take it out and you won't be different.
Yeah.
That's what he was trying to show.
A little scary, that Elon Musk guy.
Is
I think
he?
he's, well, I mean, I don't know, just...
I think he's more of
He's
like
a force to be reckoned with, I think, because he's doing a lot of crazy shit.
I think he's more of like a...
Dude, he got those 3 rockets to like go and come back and land themselves.
That's some Tony Stark shit right there.
Fucking A, man.
That's some Tony Stark shit right there.
He makes me excited for the future.
You either think 2 things of Elon Musk, though. You either think superhero
Tony Stark.
or supervillain.
Yeah.
Lex Luthor.
I will say this. So I work at a financial advisement firm, and a lot of our clients have Tesla stock.
Really?
A lot of our clients.
Oh, dude, you work at a... Okay.
I do, yeah.
Maybe you can help me.
Yeah, just diversify your portfolio. I'm actually studying for my my Series 7 financial license, but...
Because I have at least $5,000 in stock.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I have
What do you have it invested in?
11 shares in Tesla.
Really?
11.
Oh, yeah. It's
I got-
super expensive. It's
I got there. Okay, so what happened was I got the 2 shares of Tesla when they were at maybe like 1,200.
Yeah.
So they were at 1,200, and then the stock split happened.
Uh-huh.
So now I have 11 shares
Yeah.
because of the stock split.
Because they gave you like preemptive rights to keep your stake at the level it was. Or
Whatever the market cap was on August 31st,
Yeah.
whatever that the last call was, that's going to be your niche for the stock split.
Yeah.
And then it got transferred into the 11.
Yeah.
So now I have 11 stocks
That's not bad, man.
in Tesla. I have 2 in AMD, Advanced Micro Devices,
Okay.
1 in this stupid pharmaceutical company, and another one in Spotify.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's weird to think about it too, because like I don't know if I'm doing it the right way or if I'm actually, because technically I just I have the Robinhood app,
Yeah.
and I
Is
have
that the one that like rounds up what your purchases to the next dollar and takes the difference and invests it or something like that?
you can do that.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can, or you can just leave it into your stock portfolio and then
Yeah.
withdraw it into your checking account or whatever.
Gotcha. Okay.
Or you can actually buy stock with the Cash App.
Okay.
I didn't know if you knew that, but
I have the Cash App. I don't buy stock with it though.
I have.
Yeah.
That's where I have my most stock in.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't know what's going to happen with it, though.
Yeah.
Is because I know there's certain rules and stuff with your stock, like, hey, or not with your stock, but like withdrawing money from the Cash App and shit like that.
Yeah, something that so I'm a paraplanner for the firm. I mean, right now I'm the paraplanner. I think eventually I'll move on to being a full-fledged financial advisor later. But kind of the thing that I'm seeing on these meetings is that my boss is telling clients, it's like, well, coming into the November election, if we don't know who the president is for 2 weeks or a month, like the stock market's going to go down. So it might be a good time to kind of allocate shit into like fixed income, like bonds and shit like that. Something that's not so volatile. The stock market is such a, I mean, learning about the financial markets is so crazy.
Yeah.
I've been studying for a little while, and just it's a super like dynamic industry. I'll say that.
That's dude. It's fucking is, and that's how I learned too. Is like I started off by literally I saw a video about this girl who's like, yeah, I'm a day trader.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's cool. I should try it.
Yeah.
And I tried to day trade. I tried a little bit, but I ended up finding out that there's rules to day trading as well, especially here in America.
Yeah.
You can't day trade under $25,000. And if you do it, you can only do it 4 times.
Yeah.
If you do it, then you get flagged and you start getting told like regulations and shit like that.
And I'll say this right now, like the finance industry is one of the most heavily regulated industries ever, especially after like what happened in 2008 with all the housing crash and all that stuff. Like it's one of the most heavily regulated industries ever.
Regulated as in?
There's so many rules for, I mean, there's suitability requirements. I mean, there's just a ton of rules. You know, you're basically beholden to, you know, the SEC, FINRA, all that shit. There's a lot of rules. That's basically what it comes down to.
Okay. Yeah, because there's some stuff too that I'm still learning that I know that when the tax season comes this year, that I kind of have to show everything that I have in my stocks and stuff like that. That stuff won't get tax deducted because I haven't made a profit off of it yet.
Yeah.
But all the stuff that I have done trades on, I have to show them like, hey, I did a trade with 10-cent music and I lost $10.
Yeah.
And I have to show them that.
Yeah.
And that's crazy to think about. That's like,
Dude,
fuck.
I love how much ground we've fucking covered in this podcast.
Dude, financials are crazy, dude. Especially in this world. Like, if you don't have your
Politics,
financials,
religion, aliens,
financials.
finance. Holy shit, man! We've covered so much ground.
Okay, let's go a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
Have you ever indulged in any psychedelics or anything that is elucid your mind in a different level?
Honestly, I've never gone beyond pot.
Besides marijuana? Okay.
Yeah, that's basically it. I don't know, man. Like some of my heroes. Like you're a comic guy. You know, you like stand-up comedy, right?
Yeah.
Bill Hicks.
Bill Hicks, yeah.
Do you like Bill Hicks?
Yeah, he's got some dope shit, man.
Yeah, he's one of my favorites ever. And you know, he's one of those comics that like ventured into that stuff, like, you know, taking mushrooms, and a lot of I guess his contemporaries would say that like it elevated his comedy, and like, you know, so to some degree I'm curious about that stuff, but I'm also kind of freaked out and scared by it because it's like, holy shit, what if I don't like what I see? You know what I mean? Like if you start getting into like the DMTs and the
Ayahuasca and shit like that.
Dude, I'm wondering like, well, what are you gonna see on the other side? It's like maybe I don't want to see it, or maybe my mental bandwidth can't handle it or something.
And that's crazy to think about too, because there's been so many times of other things like different dimensional realms, and like even in religion they talk about ghosts and shit like that. Yeah. But yet there's been so many accounts of people that have taken DMT or mushrooms or acid or any of these like hallucinogen, and they've seen these things, or they've been able to interact or been able to do these things that like.
Well, if you're high off your ass, I'm sure you can interact with whatever is in your mind.
But can you though? Have you ever been so high off of marijuana where you're just like, I see the lizard people?
I don't think I've ever pushed it there. It's more.
It's impossible.
Yeah,
I'm telling you right. Well, that's personal preference in itself too.
Yeah.
Because you can't be like.
Although I don't do that anymore. Like it's weird. Like I think. Like when I was in my earlier 20s, I was kind of messing with that stuff. But like I don't really do it a ton anymore. I don't know. Maybe I should get back into it. We'll see.
Because I know there are some things that I feel like we as humans could actually benefit from. Like the psilocybin or the mushroom thing.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't trip every day. I'm not trying to be like, yeah, I'm trying to find God every day.
Trying to be like Sid Barrett from Pink Floyd.
But there are those occasions where I will take like 3 grams of mushrooms and just have an enlightening period where I just like discover more about myself.
Well, that's the danger about it. Like one of Bill Hicks' bits was like, you know, when you take mushrooms or psychedelics, you realize that we're all one, and that, you know, we're all God's children and stuff like that. And it's like war isn't necessary. It's like, what's that going to do to the military industrial complex if we all realize we're all one, right? That's why a lot of people, or at least him, was kind of a strong critic of government trying to say like, you know,
regulations.
Psychedelics are bad for you. It's like, yeah, of course, because then it goes against all of what they say. I don't know. I mean, I feel like if you take things like that, you're gonna find out something about yourself, and not all the time is it gonna be something that you wanted to find out about yourself. You know, so that's kind of what has me skeptic of even jumping into those or jumping that fence. Like, you know, I don't know if I can handle what I see there, right? You know, so I don't know.
That makes sense. I mean, there are some times.
I am very curious about it.
There are some people that have actually freaked out on just edibles of like marijuana.
Yeah.
They've just like they've said that it's lasted weeks, that they just can't.
That's never happened to me.
Handle. But that I get what you're saying though, in like the aspect of like a psychedelic or something, you're kind of skeptical in knowing what it's going to unveil, or like, what you're going to see.
When the curtains pulled back, what are you going to see about yourself that's going to shake your world? It's like, I didn't know that about myself, right? You know what I mean? That's why a lot of people like to go into the psychedelics, because like they want to find, you know, they want to have a moment of enlightenment and they want to find out about themselves. Sometimes it might be scary what you see on the other side, you know what I mean? So I don't know. At some point, I think maybe I'd like to try it once.
You should.
Kind of see, you know
at least once, yeah.
But I feel like the conditions have to be right. Like, we can't be doing it in a city. I feel like you have to go out into the woods and fucking do it. You know what I mean? Or something like that. You gotta be one with nature and all that shit, you know?
Being an advocate of somebody who's done it multiple times, it is kind of just finding the key of when to do it. I remember one time I did it, and I couldn't stop crying about my brother because he passed away when I was really young.
Yeah.
So see, that's one of those things where you just don't know. But that whole depressing 5 hours of me crying and feeling sad has enlightened me in a way where I know that his loss or his death wasn't something that I should be burdening on for the rest of my life, or being known as like this is the end.
Kind of a catalyst to kind of get you through it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, at some point, it's like, well, provide perspective for me. You know what I mean?
Because there's been so many times too of like people with PTSD and stuff who actually have gone through psychedelic trips and actually forget about most of their traumatic issues and stuff. So they're trying to figure out more of what these psilocybins can do. Yeah. But unfortunately, with what has gone on, it's just been demonetized and desensitized as like, this is illegal and it's bad for you.
Yeah. Well,
when we get to indulge in a bunch of this,
I was just about to say that. So, Bill Hicks, he has one of these bits about like, it's okay to drink your drug. It's those other drugs,
exactly,
those untaxed drugs. Those are the ones that are bad for you. You know, like that was one of his biggest bits, and I don't know. I mean, it does make sense. It's like, why do we get to do this shit? This is worse for you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good, but
it's different. It's different.
It's
different.
Yeah. You know, like. Alcoholism. I mean, it's touched my family, and I've seen people kill themselves with the shit. You know what I mean? It's all about moderation, I think. And like nobody should have a vice that's that prominent in their life that it's going to take you to the other side and not let you come back. You know what I mean? And that could be alcohol, that could be drugs, whatever. You know what I mean? So,
even just eating.
Oh yeah,
you see that a lot in America.
America's one of the fattest countries ever.
We are the only country that is obese from poverty.
Yeah.
Poverty, dude. Who the fuck is fat because they're skinny or because they're poor? Nobody. Everybody in other countries are dying of starvation, skinny, malnutrition, but here in America,
we're fat as fuck.
If you're poor, you're probably fat as fuck.
Yeah.
And that's kind of shitty to think about too, is that like they put this like kind of sense of like, we'll just
costs more to eat well than it does to eat like shit.
I know. That's kind of, I love that analogy. Yeah. That's very true.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. You could try to go to a Whole Foods and get healthy shit for $30 and get the same amount of food that's worse for you. Sorry.
You're cool.
For $5.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? On the dollar fucking menu. You know what I mean? I don't know. We live in a paradox. You know what I mean? It's kind of weird. It's like the shit that should be good for you or that should be more accessible is harder to get than the shit that's bad for you.
Okay, so this is more of the conspiracy theory thing then. Do you think that we were kind of made to be like this? Because they're like, hey, if they're kind of desensitized and we kind of fend for them themselves, we can control them more than like...
At some point, yeah.
Look at people in Peñasco and in Taos. Like, they farm for themselves. They do a lot of their own things. So they don't really rely on the government in so much aspects as like people in a big city do.
Yeah. That's so funny. I feel like a lot of our conversations time back to Bill Hicks' points. You know what I mean? Like,
he's a great comedian, dude.
So like one of his bits was like, you know, the government wants to keep you stupid and apathetic so that way they can control you. It's like, instead of asking big questions, you know, here's American Gladiators. Here's 52 channels of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're one of the things he says, like, you're free to do as we tell you. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, maybe the government likes to see us on the proverbial hamster wheel, so to speak, and just kind of killing ourselves and staying dumb and apathetic and on these phones.
That makes sense though, because
You know?
think of it as like we have 30 hamster wheels to pick from,
Yeah.
but that's it. Only 30 in this confined space.
Yeah.
That throws me. But again, I love how you brought up the phone stuff, though. I'm very embracive that it's making my life better.
It does. You know, you can't. Nobody who uses a phone can deny that. You know, using them doesn't make our lives easier.
The GPS,
Yeah,
the being
dude.
able to be like, hey, man.
I don't know what the fuck I would do in the 1970s looking for to come to your house. You know what I mean? It's like it's just so easy to like have the phone tell you how to do what you need to do than it is to work for it.
Yeah, just call.
And well, that's what, and I guess that's kind of my point too. It's like the phone has kind of desensitized people to, I don't know, even for something simple like coming out to shows, live shows. Like, why do I have to go out to a live show if I could just watch the live stream of it on my phone?
Yeah.
In my PJs, eating McDonald's or whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
there's a difference to it though.
Yeah.
I can feel it though, because
positives and negatives, just like anything.
Like look at now, like now there hasn't been any live shows at all.
Yeah.
And I see those live shows that people do online, and I'm just like, this is not interesting. I can't get into it.
Yeah.
So there are those aspects of being able to go to a live show and feel the energy instead of just being able to watch the energy.
Yeah.
I think that's something hopefully it doesn't turn into something that is a regular now. Because
It's kind of hard to say, man.
I see the Launchpad and I see Sunshine Theater doing these live shows now, and I'm just like, people are
they
opening
doing
up.
shows?
Yeah, they're doing live shows, but they're doing it
Is it?
Zoom stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so you only they're live,
Stream.
but only streamed.
Yeah, it's just a band with a camera.
That's it.
On the stage. And
On
that's
stage.
basically- Yeah.
I mean, they're doing better though. They have more multiple cameras set up so that you actually can switch between this stuff and everything. But
It's weird how it's changed kind of like what we do with my the music in my world too. Like we did a quarantine video for my sister. We're going to be doing one for my dad, and it's basically like all of us in our respective homes or whatever, filming ourselves like performing.
the
And that's
song.
the new gig. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like that's basically a new gig. To be fair, I think I've kept marginally busy with Carlos with the trio. But it would be a hell of a lot busier if the shit was going on.
Right.
It'd be nice if it wasn't,
Okay, so then here's the $1 million question: is if they do come up with a vaccine within the next 2 to 3 months, would you take it?
Man, that's a good fucking question.
Within 2 to 3 months. So after the election, maybe in the start of the new year,
Yeah.
maybe would you take that
don't know,
vaccine
man.
that quick?
It's hard to say because a lot of the dialogue centering around this fucking virus is that like, well, your immune system needs its library, right? Like if you're not exposed to COVID, like it's not going to know what to do
When it comes back.
right? So I don't know. How do you feel about it?
Unfortunately, with the work that I do, I work in the medical facility.
Oh,
I
there's
work
no
at
way.
I work at a retirement home with a bunch of old people.
Yeah.
So I pretty much have to get tested twice a week.
Oh, is
for
it the
COVID?
up
Yeah.
the nose shit? Oh man,
So
that sounds brutal.
I think I've been tested at least 20 times.
Jesus Christ, man! I haven't even been tested once.
I'm just kidding. But see, that's the other thing too, is like we're in this nuanced age where like I shouldn't be scared if you are or not tested. I should be able to embrace it. If I get sick, then I know that my immune system will fight it off.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
trying to build off from it.
Yeah. That's kind of what I'm thinking. It's like you have to add it to your immune system's library, so to
Catalog,
speak.
yeah.
So that way, when the shit, because that's how immune system works. You know what I mean? Like you have to add it to it, and hopefully, if you don't have a weak immune system, which, to be fair, I think a lot of the deaths that have happened as a result of this stuff,
Yeah, they only blame
compromised.
old people, young with immune deficiencies,
Yeah.
or people that immune deficiency.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to bring this up too, but obese.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing. It's like you have to have some sort of pre-existing something or another for this to really fuck you up. And I don't know. I'm skeptic. That's a hard question to answer, seriously, because it's like I don't know. I feel like if we're gonna get back to any semblance of normal, I feel like people want to be comfortable knowing that everybody has a vaccine and it's all good. But
Okay, so here's the other thing too, is like, so what if the only way you can get to certain areas or be able to do certain things is if you do get vaccinated? So like say to go to certain shops certain hospitals.
They're gonna issue a state issued card or something.
Exactly, just a little card that says that you got vaccinated.
Man, these are hard questions, Angel. Fuck.
Would it be something that you're thinking? Because unfortunately, this is stuff we're looking at in the near future.
It's
within 4 months.
It's happening
quick.
I mean, it's worthy of anybody's time to kind of think about these questions. I don't know. Fuck, that's hard, man. I don't know, because it's like.
That's the only thing I can keep saying though is that if I want to keep my job, I'm gonna have to do it.
Yeah,
that's unfortunate though.
Yeah, like because I work at a firm that's so small that I don't think it's really a huge issue.
They're not trying to mandatory. They're not like, hey, we need to make sure.
I do work partially remote, but at the end of the day, like I don't think we're super crazy about it. I guess we'll have to see with time as it passes, man. We'll see what happens.
That's always the best thing too. Is like. I always put people in like these scenarios where I'm like, hey, what would you do? What could you do? What would you do? But until you're actually put in that actual spot of it going down, you won't know what you're going to pick.
Yeah. Exactly.
There are those scenarios where like, imagine if you were raped. What would you do if you were raped? Yeah. You can totally be like, I would fight back and I would try to fight. Yeah. But you don't know because you've never been in that spot and it's not happening.
The times that we're living in, man, it's just super. It's unheard of. Unheard of times. You know, we don't know. We've never seen anything like this. At least I don't think.
No, not especially the existence of us being born. Yeah. We've never seen it. Maybe it did happen in like the 80s. But guess what? We weren't there. Yeah, we didn't even get to see it.
Our generation is definitely experiencing something that it has never seen before. I don't know. I guess I might lean towards maybe than no, but we'll see, man. I guess we'll have to see. I do want to get back to some kind of normal, though.
Yeah, right? Concerts, at least.
Yeah.
I really miss going to concerts.
Like, I've been saying throughout this, like, I've played somewhat, regularly, like considering everything that's going on, but dude, like especially with Carlos's trio, we fucking play constantly. It's crazy. Sometimes like night after night kind of thing, and with all this stuff, we haven't been doing that much. So I guess whatever's gonna get us back to that, and is gonna get me on the road with some of my best friends in the whole wide world. Hey, fuck it, I'll take the fucking vaccine.
I'll take it, yeah.
So we'll see what happens. I don't know.
And I've never been some advocate that like the government is trying to pump me with a chip or like pump me with like a bunch of like vaccines that they can't handle.
Fuck do you think this is?
Exactly. I mean? See, that's great, dude. That's perfect. It's like if they wanted to, they already have everything.
The CIA doesn't check this shit out. I don't know, man.
Dude, we've been on the internet and posting a bunch of information for over 10 years now.
Hashtag the Patriot Act.
Over 10 years now. So they have so much shit on us. They don't need to just, we need to put something in you now.
Yeah, I'm not really worried so much about that. It's more just like, am I doing a disservice to myself by like protecting, so to speak, my body from this virus when if I got it and it just, I add it to my immune system, eventually when this vaccine wears off or whatever the hell, like I'll be in the best stance possible to kind of defend myself to it. So I don't know, man. All I'll say is that I think the bar, I guess, like I just want to get past the election. I'm so tired of all the shit that's in the news and all the shit leading up to the election.
Do you think it's going to be any different though? I mean, unfortunately, it's against two people that we didn't even really get to pick.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there are a bunch of people that are on the side of Trump.
Yeah.
But the people that are on the side of Biden are only on the side of Biden because he represents that side. Mm-hmm. It's not because he's the pick of that side.
Yeah, dude, it's so weird on my social media when I was seeing when the news came out that Biden was going to be the guy and that Kamala Harris was going to be the girl, right? I was seeing all these memes about people who I know are like on the left, right? But there would be like, this is what I ordered. And there was a picture of Bernie Sanders and AOC.
Oh, geez.
But this is what I got. And it was Biden and Harris. So I don't know. I mean, even within their own party, it seems like there's like a big fracture. But I don't know. Right now, the way it stands, I'm not a big fan of like all the rioting that's happening. And, Trump's definitely got that going for him, the whole law and order shit, whether it's a pull the wool over your eyes kind of thing or not. Like, I don't think people are a big fan of that right now.
Do you think we live in a state where we kind of can manage civil unrest? Again, the November election happens. We don't get a decision for 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's going to be a little scary.
For two, if it happens just for 2 weeks.
I'll put it this way. And I don't know if maybe I fell for something, but at the end of the day, like, I'm not a big fan of how things were looking. So I'm a first time gun buyer. I bought it like 2 months ago, month and a half, 2 months ago. And that's kind of where I think it's going to head, man. I don't know if we can, and I think that's evident in the fact that the first time gun buyer stats are just through the fucking roof.
I like that you're a first time gun buyer though, but for the wrong reasons. Mm-hmm. You should be a first time gun buyer because of the fact that China might be coming to take us over.
Yeah,
but I get what you're saying though. Is that it's so uncivil out there that you don't know. You don't know.
You got people shooting at each other from different parties. Like, we're not even, and not even people that are in, I guess, the capacity to do so. You have civilians doing that shit to each other.
Right? Because
it's a little scary.
Yeah, just down the road, there's this voting booth that you can go to, but through all the windows and stuff, it just promotes Trump.
Yeah.
So I feel like if I was going to go vote, I can't go vote there.
Yeah.
Because it's just a Trump voting booth. That's so weird to think that there's actually just voting booths. It's supposed to be universal. You're supposed to be able to...
Is mail-in voting happening, though?
Yeah, there is. It's going to be. You can register to mail-in vote.
Yeah.
They're doing that.
So there's no in-person shit?
No, it is going to happen, too.
Okay.
See, so that's what's going to be crazy, too, is like, okay, there's going to be the right wing that are going to go in person. They're going to go do it because they don't care about the virus. They don't care what's going on. So they're going to be like, I want to support Trump no matter what.
Yeah.
Those votes are going to be counted like that. Mm-hmm. So that's going to give Trump a giant boost right away. All the other mail-in votes are probably more than likely going to be for Biden.
Yeah.
And if they do, it's going to take at least a week to come in.
Yeah.
So that's what's going to be kind of crazy.
I'm worried about that night, though. I'm worried about riots, like super...
That night, Trump's going to win.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but Trump's going to win.
Yeah.
Because of the availability of right-wing conservatives being able to go vote. Yeah. They're just going to be like, fuck it, I don't care.
Yeah.
And those are going to be counted
that does
right
seem to be the sentiment kind of
quick.
Yeah.
They'll be like, I don't care, and I'm going to go get voted.
And that's the thing, though. Like, okay, so ultimately, if he does win, even if it's in like a lawful way, which obviously it would be, but I just don't think people are gonna like that, and they're gonna fucking start shit on fire.
Exactly, just what you said. They're not gonna like that, and they'll probably start some shit on fire.
Yeah. And it doesn't really do them any favors, because at the end of the day, people are probably gonna assume that, those are Biden supporters. It's like whatever, like. So I don't know. I'm a little worried about November, and I was saying this, and like I told you earlier, just the sort of tension and kind of the emboldenedness, I guess, that people have to do violence upon each other. Like, I saw it firsthand in Espanola the other day.
Yeah, see that,
and it freaked me out. And I think election night will be no different than that. Yeah,
if not worse.
Yeah,
if not worse.
I've heard people say the word civil war in their podcasts, the various ones that I listen to, like,
so
thinking that's on the horizon.
So who's not to think? Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a little worried about it, but we'll see what happens, man. I mean, I don't know.
Again, though, it all depends on the states, too. Like, I think we live in a state where it's going to get a little heated, but not enough where it's going to be like Los Angeles. It's not going to be like New York.
We had like a little mini riot, I think, during when he was running for president back in 2016.
I remember that.
There was like a little mini riot or something like that.
But something small, right? Maybe a car got on fire.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Or some windows got broken, but nothing to the scale that we've been seeing otherwise.
Yeah, where like 50 people get incarcerated, mass tear gas.
They're black bagging people, or someone. Dude, there was a guy that got his arm shot off. Like, you've heard about the whole Kenosha thing, right?
Yeah.
There was a guy that got his arm shot off. It's kind of icky, dude. All the violence that we're seeing.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, man. November's gonna be scary, but hey, I'm packing.
That's all you got to think about too. Is like, as long as you're protected, that should be fine. And there's a great theory of a well-armed society. It's like, if you're a well-armed society and you know that your neighbor is well-armed, why would you go fuck with them?
Yeah.
They have a gun.
Yeah.
That's no point to go fuck with somebody that has a gun because they have a gun. Life is a
series of choices. At the end of the day, life is a series of choices. And if something bad happens to you, I mean, with some rare exceptions, at the end of the day, something you did put you there. You know what I mean? So if you're messing with someone because of their political beliefs and you happen to get shot because you're trying to hurt them or something like that, it's like, well,
To each your own.
yeah, sometimes people deserve to get hurt, but we'll see.
And that's not being an asshole. That's
It's not.
Yeah,
it's
that's
not.
just.
That's the thing. Is like people think like, if you're gonna say a shooting is justified, it's like, well, you like violence. No, I don't like violence. I don't like when anybody gets hurt. I don't like when someone dies. At the end of the day, it's just sad to see. But ultimately, it's like if someone had to make a choice between them and you, and you're the one who was trying to hurt them, it's like, self-defense.
Yeah, especially through loved ones and
Get
relatives.
ready for the news headlines, dude, because fuck, in November it's gonna get bad. I think it's gonna get really bad.
Again, I'm very glad that we live in New Mexico.
Yeah,
because this is one of the
relatively mild.
Yeah.
Someone got shot during all that. Remember they're like the Oñate protests.
Yeah,
like
where they're
all
trying to take that shit down. Yeah.
To be fair, I think the guy was a moron showing up like to a protest with a gun. It's like, what are you doing if not stirring the shit, right? Like if you're going to a protest with a gun.
Very true.
But the guy had like a skateboard and he ran at him, was trying to bash him over the head. If that's not an attempted murder, I don't know what is. But
yeah, see, that's at least bodily harm.
yeah.
And the thing is too is that there are more. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the history of this place. The history of how we were created.
History is history, man. You can't change it.
But
even if you take a fucking statue down, you're not going to change it.
Even though if you take that statue down, you're taking it down in the rightful kind of way. Mm-hmm. You should have at least gone through Congress. You got to
do it the right way. Yeah,
exactly. You don't go down there and just try to tear it down.
Yeah.
Because don't get me wrong, there are again our relatives and our grandpas like that don't believe in all of the whole system of this woke culture.
No.
My grandpa
it'll never do well, man.
My grandpa is not going to be like, oh yeah, I know what a transgender is. Oh yeah, I know why you're taking down the statue of Oñate.
Yeah.
He literally probably has racist intuition in him, but that's just the way that this country was founded on him.
The old timers kind of tend to do that.
It's just how it is. We're just going through the changes.
Yeah, you tend to do your best to kind of like educate them at least, or like the big Gramps, you can't say that anymore.
Yeah, and people don't see it like a new shed of skin. Like, just let it happen. Mm-hmm. Just let it shed out.
Straight up.
You kind of just got to go through the bad processes, because even a snake, when they're trying to shed their skin, they have some fucked up times where they're just like, fuck, I can't get this off.
Yeah.
This shit sucks.
Yeah.
But yet it happens. Mm-hmm. And we all grow from it, and we all learn from better experiences. And look at us now. Like, we're talking about conversations that are taboo in other places that nobody even talks about at all.
I'm kind of, a lot of times, I'm a little skeptic of having conversations politically. And it's cool. I mean, hats off to you for being able to, like, talk with someone else. And I guess to me, too, it's like, we can talk through shit and don't always have to agree, but I'm gonna jump over this table and bash you over the head because you think one way or another.
Right.
So people should be able to kind of express themselves without being fearful that, okay, now violence. You know what I mean? Like,
this is the norm.
Yeah.
This is what I should do. Is like, if I don't agree, I should fight.
Absolutely.
And that shouldn't be the case.
Yeah. So I can't wait to get over like this hump, because I view it as a hump.
It is, dude. It's a really shitty hump. We just got to get over it, get back to being able to enjoy the finer things in life. The music, for sure. That's one thing that I'm itching to get back into.
Yeah.
It's like just being able to, like, I've been working
creative and write and record and shit.
I've been working on some stuff where I'm just like, dude, I've seen Buckethead play live with no band. At all. No band at all.
Yeah.
Why can't I do that?
Yeah.
So it's just putting yourself
tracks.
Exactly. Putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
You'll never know. The band will come to you.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you have the material that they like. You'll just be like, hey, can you learn this part for me?
I've seen there's a lot of artists that I respect that have used tracks before. Just kind of like playing along to their stuff or singing along. Dude, it's so funny. Last night I was watching home movies with my dad. It was the 1996 NMHMAs that we were watching last night, and he was doing a mariachi act, but maybe the mariachi wasn't available. He basically just sang over tracks.
Dope.
Yeah, and hopefully when we get back to shows, like, you'll be able to do something, because dude, you're an awesome guitar player. Like, I've seen the videos of you with your band, and dude, the intro that we had on this whole thing is like, it's strong material. I think you should get back to it.
Yeah, but that's the beauty of technology, is that I've been able to play in front of hundreds of people without even having to stop.
Yeah.
Like I stream on Twitch, and there's some times where I've gotten like 70 views.
Really?
People are just like throwing me money. They're just like,
That's
hey,
awesome,
here's
dude,
some
yeah.
bits, here's some donations. I'm just
Yeah.
like, dude, thank you so much. I feel
yeah.
so humbled,
Yeah.
man. I can never think of anything else I would love to do right
And
now.
just do Twitch streams and pay the bills, right?
And just being able to like play my music out there for people.
Yeah.
Because I know if once this COVID thing gets off and if I am getting a following, I could just be like, hey, I'm coming
So-
to your city.
Yeah, there we go. Is Causes active at any level? Is it just
No.
a studio project or like
It's pretty much done.
done?
Yeah. Causes was a group project with my old band.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, again, with the passing away of Desmond and stuff,
Right, yeah.
it kind of was
That's
in and
kind of
done.
it, like
Yeah.
the nail in the coffin, so to speak. I
Yeah.
guess.
Of
It's a
Causes
bummer.
to Become. Like I'll always kind of rehash that music and I'll kind of always bring it to light.
You'll always write the way you write, right?
Yeah, but it'll never be in the same sense of Causes to Become.
It'll never be under that.
Yeah, it'll be something else again.
Yeah. No, well, you can start projects anytime you want.
Yeah.
I mean, that's awesome, though.
And I love to tell people too, they're like always telling me all the time, they're like, don't you wish you were famous? Don't you wish you were famous? And I'm just like, you know what's crazy is like, even if I don't become famous, I had a really fun time doing it.
Yeah.
A
That's all that
really
matters, dude.
fucking fun time.
That's all that matters. You know, even with like making that album or making the one that we're about to put out, it's like, you know, I'm super proud of. Like,
Yeah,
how it came out,
exactly.
you know, and that's like the biggest. That's the cherry on top. It's like if you're proud of it and people enjoy it too, it's like that's all good.
Seeing all the work that you did into it.
You don't have to be like, you know, Ariana Grande.
Hundreds
scale.
of views, yeah.
To feel like you did something, and in fact, at some level, you feel like you've done more because it's like, you know, all these pop stars that make this chewing gum pop music. It's like, you know, there's not that much substance to it, but like this is something you did from the ground up. So
Something to be proud of for sure.
yeah, absolutely. So I can't wait for you to hear the second album, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Once you're done with it and stuff, you get it over here. We'll promote it. We'll even
yeah.
throw a few tracks on here.
Hell yeah.
You can even just be like,
We're
I
actually-
own copyrights, bro. You better not strike this bitch.
I am an ass capitalist.
There you go.
I have publishing.
He owns the fucking A Resolve, guys.
Yeah, it came out really good. It's supposed to come out next week. So, and actually we have a music video that we're getting edited right now too. So
Dope.
we'll probably get that out real soon. Yeah.
Well, we've been here for an hour or 2 hours now.
Is it really 2 hours?
We've been here for 2 hours, man.
Jesus Christ, man.
So if anything, man, give out some plugs. Give people, my fans, where they can find you and stuff.
Absolutely.
Let
yeah.
them know where they can let them know where they can hear your stuff, man. Because
So-
you do so much shit. You're just
Yeah.
not in this. You have so much going on.
Yeah, we're kind of all over the place. So with my project, you know, we're going to be on Spotify, iTunes, all the major I guess streaming services, and we have a music video coming out here probably in the next week or so, something like that. But other than that, follow me, Ryan Cordova, Darren Cordova Calor, Carlos Medina Trio, all that stuff. Super busy. Trying to stay busy anyway.
He's always keeping himself busy, man. And we'll have him back for sure, man.
Yeah, this was an awesome conversation, man. I really appreciate you having me on the show.
You know what we have to do too is if you're a musician, I give you the introduction of next time you come on, bring your guitar and we'll play something.
Oh, shit.
What we do is like if you have something small that can be hooked up to this PA right here, then
I have an orange RT Crush 20,
we'll bring it in.
super small practice amp.
And all I do is we'll just throw on a drum beat and we'll just riff off of each other.
Oh yeah,
We'll just have a good
jam
time.
session next time we hang out.
That's
That'd
what's
be
up,
awesome.
man.
Oh yeah,
I appreciate you, man. Thank you for
Absolutely.
coming, dude.
Thank you for having me,
That
man.
is what's up, man. Dude, you guys know exactly what to do. You guys follow me everywhere, social media. Just fucking Google MuseMe TV. That's all you got to do is Google me. I swear to God, you'll find it. Make sure to tune in. We'll have new episodes coming up this week. Guys, go check him out again. A Resolve, Ryan Cordova. This guy's amazing, man. This
Thank
guy
you
is
guys.
so sick.
Angel, you're the man. Thanks for having me, man.
You're a beast.
Appreciate
Thanks for joining.